Recently, I've been trying to get in better shape by hitting the gym and making better food decisions and all those things that make a person generally healthier, but the most important thing is staying hydrated. Hydration is one of, if not the most important things to living a healthier and better life, and Liquid IV is your best ticket to achieving that goal. Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, which is pretty significant. I really enjoy Liquid IV because it's easy to take. It's easy to take with you, which makes it super convenient, whether it's after the gym or if I need to pick me up in the morning after a night out or just a boost of hydration while I'm at work. Staying hydrated is so much easier for me because of Liquid IV, and I think it can do the exact same thing for you. Also, if you're worried about the flavors, don't be. They've got strawberry lemonade and lemon lime, which are some of my favorites, and they are very good, but they got plenty of other flavors, so you'll find something you like for sure. So, if you want to start getting and staying more hydrated, you should try some Liquid IV. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BADMOVIE at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code BADMOVIE at liquidiv.com.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. There's been reports all over the area of something crazy going on, something big. People's homes, their minds even, are being taken over by something called, what is it they're calling it? They're calling it Bad Movie Debate.
So I usually just take a deep breath, and I hit them with a like, oh, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's
Jacob
up,
Babb
guys?
here with...
Make sure to like that. Or,
Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm.
Yeah,
all the
it's
comments
fucking
are
great.
appreciated.
Yeah,
even though we're
you don't want to have a
podcast.
shit algorithm, right? You fucking like this and you won't. Anyway, so
Yeah.
welcome to Bad Movie Debate.
Thank you for having me.
We're doing it. It's me, Jacob, and I have with me,
I'm Chris Bodie,
yes,
the one
Chris
and only.
the Body Bodie.
That's literally my last name, and it's spelt like body.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
It's
you know,
the
it sounds
best,
like an
dude.
egotistical, douchey thing to have that as my Instagram handle, but, like,
Yes.
it's like, man, it's like, I like to lift a lot of weights.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a beefy guy.
like your last name is literally spelt like body.
Body.
It's pronounced Bodie, but you do have you've earned the title of Chris the Body Bodie.
Well, thank
you. Know
you.
what I mean?
I
Keep
don't
it
edit
trimmed.
any of my photos. No, if you get on my Instagram, you'll be like, wow, there really aren't any photos
Hey,
other
what's
than
that? What's that Instagram?
Chris the Body.
Chris the Body.
Yeah, on Instagram.
On
This
Instagram.
is
Yeah,
literally what it is.
I'm gonna tag him in post about this, so you'll be
Sure.
able to find him. All your thirst traps.
All my thirst
Out there.
traps.
He's married, ladies.
Oh, but
Calm
don't worry.
down.
I have to beat the recently divorced career first women away from me with a stick.
Yeah. So let's all back off. All the divorced women listening to my show, back off. He's taken.
Thank you.
It's mostly divorced women who listen to my show.
Career first.
Yeah,
Divorced women. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do a
yeah.
lot of trade shows for work, so.
which is fine.
They-
which is
yeah,
good
but they,
because
like,
have
seek me out.
They have more than enough money to spend on Liquid IV. Get some
Hey!
Liquid IV.
Liquid IV.
Shamelessly plugging my own ad. Buy Liquid IV. Do it. It's good shit. It actually genuinely is good shit.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
regardless of that. Okay, so I got Chris the Body with me, and we're gonna do a little episode. And it's gonna we narrowed down the so we have to talk about. We're gonna do our top fives as always and stuff. But so the movie we decided the genre is action thriller, and Chris, you came up with like a perfect definition because at first I was like action, and you were like, could you be more
Yeah.
specific? And I was like, yeah, and I like looked around and I was like, action thriller seems to be more, but then you came up with like a definitive like this is what an action thriller is. Hit them with it.
Yeah, so before I even say it, watch, we're probably going to contradict ourselves with that, with an explanation, right? We're going to say it's such a broad category.
Yeah.
We're just like, I don't know.
But,
Okay, so action thriller. It says it in the name, right?
Mhm.
There has to be some action. Something has to be happen. The main character has
Yeah.
to do something in order for the event to carry on.
I know what you're thinking. Action has a lot of guns A gun is shot in this
Guns,
movie.
explosions,
At least once.
speed, intensity.
I think there are exactly 2 gunshots in this movie.
Some inherent awesomeness.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit of violence.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of things. So that qualifies as action. But what makes it a thriller
And this is the important part.
is there is something that is underlying, that is time-bound or sensitive, creates a sense of urgency.
Yes, exactly. Some kind of like, something's coming. The suspense. Of
Right.
it. Exactly.
It can't just be like, surprise, action. No,
Yeah,
it can't just be like Fast and the Furious. That's a great action
I was
series.
just about to say, we're not talking about Fast
But
and
it's
Furious
not a
action.
thriller. Like, it could
Exactly.
be thrilling, but it is not a thriller by nature.
Exactly.
So we're
And that's what
talking
the difference
action
is.
thrillers.
And I hope that my top 5 falls into that. I could be wrong. I don't
This
know.
could be a
But I
debate
just
in
really,
itself.
I may have doing this explanation may have fucked me, but I don't even care. But first, I want to hear your top 5s because
All right.
I always like to judge my own top 5s based on my
Okay.
guest first to be like, fuck, I picked a bad, I fucked up. I should have picked that.
Okay. So coming in at number, do we have to do them out of numbers?
No.
Let's
It's
go
never,
in order.
It's never. Well, my thing is like, you don't have to do like a particular order. Mine
Sure.
are just like all of these are like in my top 5 right
Okay.
now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, is one not necessarily the first one is the first one? You know, is number
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You know? So,
Okay, and then the
Anyway.
other thing I'll say is a lot of action thrillers,
yes.
they are formulaic,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like once we do
Absolutely.
like this isn't on my list, but honorable mention, Rambo,
Yes.
right? There is
Great honorable
action.
mention, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it counts as a thriller. That's why it's not on the list.
I mean, it's social commentary. The first one.
Yeah,
it's beautiful
but
social commentary.
But I mean, is Rambo being chased by the cops? Does that make it a thriller? Because it's more of a chase than it is like if the cops didn't know that Rambo was about to kill him,
yeah.
or like to kick their asses.
But here's the thing though, is cops chasing after somebody not thrilling?
Is it a thriller for him because it's got to escape? I don't know. Let us know in the comments because
Yeah, let us know.
'cause
Let us know. 'cause I
clearly,
would say-
what did I tell you? We're going to contradict ourselves. We didn't know what this thriller, this category is.
Yeah, for everybody who listens to most of the episodes, you already know that this is a pretty loose podcast.
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay, so
we're just having fun.
starting my top 5, which if
Yes.
you had asked me what are my top 5 favorite Christmas movies,
Okay, no.
this would have also been on that list.
Oh yeah. Oh
Are you
yeah,
ready for it?
baby.
You know where we're going?
Oh yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Like this is the modern standard
Yeah.
for an action thriller, right?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, you bad motherfucker.
Oh my god,
That
it's
is
so
an
good.
excellent one.
Oh, good, dude. My Christmas episode I did with Savannah. I put we had to do top 5 Christmas movies, and I put Die Hard in there at the very end.
Yes.
And she was like, I'll allow it. And I was like, yeah, because it only happens because he was there for Christmas.
There are 2 kinds of people on this planet. Those who believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie,
And?
those who are wrong.
Yes, exactly, 100%. All right.
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die
right?
Hard.
So that's my number
So
one.
fucking good.
Is there any questions about that? Like, are people at
No.
home listening to this going like, okay, yeah, duh, that
I don't have any questions.
it would be rude to have not mentioned it.
Yeah, honestly, I it's not on my list, but I looked at it for a
Shame.
long time.
Yeah.
Like being like I mean, yeah, like it could be, it probably should be, but then honestly, I did think I was like, Chris will say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
there's no
right,
way.
right. Because
no way
there's
we're
one
not.
that I left off that I'm hoping you say because
Ooh, I hope I know.
think
what it
I know
is.
which one it is, and you're a bigger fan of it, so I'm gonna leave it to you.
Oh
but
God, that
next,
makes me nervous. I feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. I don't know, but anyway.
I hope to God you don't, because my later choice is not gonna make some, or it's gonna be like, wow, really? This is out of context.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
perfect though. I love that.
number 4.
Number 4.
Since we'll put it in order,
All
and this
right.
is not a 4 out of the quality of the movie. This is just maybe it's quality and relevance to the genre.
All right.
Now, if you know me, I'm sitting here wearing a T-Rex T-shirt,
Absolutely.
and anytime I get an opportunity, I'm going to mention it. Jurassic Park.
I'll
the-
allow it.
Thank you. The OG.
Yes.
Think about it, right?
Oh my God.
Time bound. There's multiple time bound things going on. Obviously, we got to
Yeah.
get back before the dinosaurs. Well, first off, the whole premise of the movie, we know something's going to go wrong. Like
Yes.
the initial setup for the movie is, look, we just have to get the investors to believe that it's going to be safe and
Yeah.
everything's going to be fine.
It'll be fucking fine.
It's not a movie if everything's
Yeah,
fine. Like,
exactly.
oh look, Sam Neill and what's Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum and-
went to the zoo together. No, it's
Exactly.
not that, right?
No.
You know something is going
Laura
to happen.
Dern was there too. Amazing.
Right, yeah, right.
No, it's not.
When it's
Samuel
gonna go
Jackson's in that movie.
He is.
He's the little
He's
side
the keyboard
character.
guy.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the
the
tech
keyboard
guy.
guy. Yeah,
Right?
tech guy.
Yeah. So
Spoiler alert
that-
for what movie we're talking about.
Spoiler alert.
You've already
right?
seen the title when you clicked on plays, but whatever.
Right, but it's time bound, right?
Yes.
We know something's going to happen. The time
Yeah.
frame is
They have a
one
certain
weekend.
amount of time that they need to do something. There's an
Yes.
objective in a certain amount of time. Yeah. So
Is there action?
yeah.
A T-Rex rips apart a fucking car.
Yeah. There's a lot of fucking action. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And the fucking chase scene, Jeff Goldblum
Yes.
in the back. Faster.
That's
Faster.
thrilling.
Amazing.
Thrilling. And
Beautiful.
it says in the mirror, objects may be closer
Oh, yeah,
than
that's
appear in the
nice.
mirror.
And-
That's just like, yes.
And fucking movies, TV shows, even like stupid YouTube videos and stuff have been like playing off of that bit ever since. Like it's a classic moment
And look in your
in
mirror
action thriller.
in action thriller. Now here's where I further go into it.
Okay.
Time bound, right?
Oh.
Remember I said it's time bound.
Mhm.
There's a double time bound sequence in this.
Okay.
Nedry,
Yes.
right? He's got to get off the island,
Oh yeah.
right? And he's running like a counter thrill to this, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
his whole thing is I'm going to escape. And they don't do a good job in the movie of setting it up, but in the books they do a great job of setting up that
Well, yeah.
Hammond screws him over as far as making money. They can reference it quickly, but read the book; it's pretty good. And by very good, I mean very good. And I still haven't finished it. It's on my to-do list this weekend.
It's also just it's like it's what made Michael Keaton like. There's a reason why he does this for a living now, and it's because he wrote that book.
well, and he's dead, but
That's why he
sadly,
did do it for a living.
He did it for a living. He's written some great books.
There's lots of good books by
regardless.
him, but this one,
But like Jurassic Park
Nailed it.
is definitely his Mona Lisa.
yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, put that one on the list. All right,
100%.
now number 3.
Ooh.
This is one that I don't know if it'll ever come up on this podcast again. But here's one that we may have all heard of and not seen.
Oh.
The Hunt for Red October.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a good one.
I wish I could sit here with a good Sean Connery voice
Oh my
and
God,
like,
you can't.
Red October.
Yeah,
It's
like, I mean, that's pretty good.
Thank you,
That's
right?
better than me.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna fucking try.
the movie's got some weird shit. Like all the
Of course.
Russian people speak English, but with British-ish accents, right?
Yeah.
Sam Neill's in that movie too.
Yeah.
Australian accent. Sean Connery, the main character,
Yeah.
who's Russian with a Scottish accent.
No, he has a Sean Connery
He has
accent
a
because he never fucking changes his accent
No, no, no,
regardless
no,
of what
no.
he's doing.
He has a Sean Connery accent because the people of Scotland have tried to copy him ever since they've heard his voice.
You're right, yeah, so yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so
Right,
that's
so they've made it-
Scottish. Yeah.
But that one I think is fantastic because, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone has seen the movie.
oh,
The
it's such a good movie.
premise of the movie is, the thrilling part about it is the Red October
Mm-hmm.
has defected from Russia,
Mm-hmm.
but the U.S. doesn't know this.
Nope.
They're like, cool, bro. Did you let us know that you're a nuclear submarine working for the U.S. now? Didn't think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
There's some paperwork or something you got to do. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a DD form there somewhere.
There's something.
But yeah, it's thrilling because on both sides we don't know. We don't know if it's an authentic trade of arms or if it's
Right.
going to be I don't know, a big old bamboozling of the United States
Yeah,
government.
is it a red herring, false flag? Like,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
like
False
bullshit?
flag, it's perfect.
Like, is it something like that, or are they like genuine and stuff? And it's
We don't
fucking-
know.
we
But it's
don't know.
Sean Connery and it's awesome.
It's
Alec
fucking
Baldwin is in
amazing.
that movie too.
Oh my god, I forgot. Who the fuck does he play again?
Isn't is
Does
it
he
like
play one of the? He plays one of the Americans.
okay?
right?
So he's like the main
Okay, yeah.
CIA agent in the movie, and
right.
I want to say it's a Jack Ryan series. Is that the?
Yes.
I know it's a Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the first in a Tom Clancy series made into movies.
I think it's like the first Tom Clancy like big fucking hit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah. But the cool thing about it is it's kind of like the movie that we're about to discuss later in this podcast,
A little
where
bit.
the main character isn't the one that everyone remembers.
Exactly. You're right.
It's
Holy
definitely a
shit.
Sean Connery movie.
It's definitely a Sean
right?
Connery movie. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So that's
Fuck.
number 3 for me
Alright.
on this list.
I know.
Number 4
Okay.
coming in. Wait, no, we already said number 4.
You
We're going
said
up the list. This
5,
is number
4, 3. This is 2.
7. 2.
Two.
Yeah, 2. Right, 2. Okay.
I almost forgot how
So
to do math. For
number
a second.
2, coming in at number 2. This one, and debate this one for me if you feel so inclined.
Okay.
Joker, 2019.
Oh. Okay. Was this the one that you were like?
I don't know if it belongs in the genre or not.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's been a while since I've seen it. But
So I had to rewind once I like thought about this one, but think
Right.
about it for a second, right?
okay. Hit me
Time
with it.
bound,
Uh-huh.
right? So we actually don't know when it's going to happen, but we know the bomb is going to go off. And what's
Yes.
pretty cool is that the villain is the bomb, and yes, he does go and do some like fucked up shit.
Yeah, we watch the movie through the bomb's eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
The
'cause, like,
main
everything
character
is
the
coming
bomb.
from his perspective, which is a fun take on it.
It's
okay?
a really neat twist, and I really think it belongs up in there because it's such a unique twist on there's a lot of talk now in the mental health community,
Uh-huh.
and this does such a good job of bringing that to light. Like,
Yeah.
not all people who do bad things
Yep.
start off bad.
Oh yeah.
He's literally a comedian for a children's hospital.
Yeah, and he
Society
literally
takes a
has,
shit on him.
and he has a condition where he uncontrollably laughs.
Correct.
Like he's not being a dick like the actual Joker is, because this
right.
is the
He had
I
to
can't-
start somewhere.
I'm gonna say one thing and then I'm gonna stop myself before we just talk about DC entirely, because this is obviously not like the Joker we know from Batman,
Yeah.
because Bruce Wayne is a child.
Yeah.
So like this is like an inspiration for who becomes the actual Joker. That's my take on it. Is like this is like
it's a prequel for the villain.
yeah, exactly. This is where the Joker got his shtick, was from this fucking guy, from Joaquin Phoenix. And then Bruce Wayne grows up, and then they become
Yeah.
So like this isn't like the Joker proper.
No, he does become the Joker, I believe, because he
Maybe.
kills
We'll see.
kills his parents.
We'll see in the second one.
I hope there's a second one because
There is a second
Joaquin
one.
Phoenix
Oh, there's a second one
freaking-
coming on the way with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn.
What?
And there's gonna be like musical bits in it.
Hell yeah.
Which for me, I'm like, okay, so that means it's gonna be like really dark, fucked up musical bits, honestly, and I'm here
Fuck it,
for
let's
it.
do it.
That sounds amazing.
You
But-
said Lady Gaga?
Yeah, Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn.
Dude, that's awesome.
There's been a couple of images. You'll need to look them up, but like there's a couple of images of her like when they're like shooting scenes. Like they've released some like, hey, we're working on this movie. Like, well, actually they're maybe not working on it anymore because of the whole union, the strikes and everything. But when they were working on it, there was some images of her like coming out of a courthouse, like in like the character and stuff, and
Nice.
like she's not like dolled up all clowny and stuff, but you're just like. But that's who she plays.
Okay.
And stuff. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. Honestly.
Yeah. But is it a action thriller? There's lots of explosions. There's a lot of violence.
of action. There's and the time frame suspense added to it. So I may have to run it up the flagpole, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's okay.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah. By the end of the episode, I'll get an email back from my bosses about whether it is or not. I'm gonna allow it for now.
Oh.
But
Okay.
we'll get back to it. Hopefully they'll respond
All right.
soon.
Number one.
Oh God.
You're not expecting this
I'm
one.
kind of nervous.
No, this is. Well, I mean, the movie will make you nervous as shit if you've seen it.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Ready for it?
Yep.
Dunkirk.
Oh God, what a good fucking
Right?
movie, dude. Oh my God, dude, I love that movie.
Yeah. Holy shit, it's awesome. I mean, beautiful camera work.
It's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Christopher Nolan.
If you don't know, it's Christopher
Dude.
Nolan. Just assume that everything about the filmmaking is amazing, and it's my boy Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude!
Yeah.
I have never been so anxious watching people sit on the beach and just stare at the ocean. Like that,
Worst
that's what that
day at
movie-
the beach
it was
ever.
literally like them just sitting on the beach and staring at the ocean. Hans Zimmer's score makes
Yes.
honestly, Hans Zimmer's score makes that an action thriller.
Yeah.
The
I mean, it's
tone of
what-
the tone of the score and like everything and like the storytelling like and stuff makes it an action thriller, because I'm just like, I am so anxious watching like almost next to nothing happening
Yeah.
at like for the majority, but when the action does happen, like with Tom Hardy and the fighter jet
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, like that shit goes hard. When it goes off, it goes off. Like it, great, yeah.
Yeah. That so like.
that doesn't need to be run up. Like,
Okay, cool. Because like
that's
it's
fucking-
like I feel like it's a dramatical war movie, like a war drama, right? Would be like the correct first name for it. But I think
it is.
it's
but
time bound, right? Like, how soon do we need to get off the beach? As fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And then fucking Hans Zimmer.
Is
score
there
comes in.
action? I don't know. You ever watch World War II plane fights? Pretty fucking badass. Action for days.
Yeah. How many, Chris, you actually genuinely might know this off the top. How many World War II movies are there?
Oh my god. No, a lot.
Oh, yeah,
A lot. Top 5 World War II movies, starting with Tora, Tora, Tora. That's a throwback. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's way down there on the list, but that is a classic.
But it's there.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Titanic, or not Titanic. Pearl Harbor, you did
Pearl
not
Harbor.
make the list. You're just Titanic with guns.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that movie. This movie's so bad, right? Like that
See,
movie's
like,
really bad.
okay,
right?
so that, like, if this podcast was called
think
Good Movie Debate because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a good movie, we're gonna debate that it's good.
that would be different.
Like,
Yeah.
there's some period aircraft, but all right, what's your top 5?
Yeah, the aircraft is not bad. But all right, so my top 5. Oh, we have so different. Usually there's a little bit of a crossover.
Ooh, I'm
But
gonna be
there's
shocked
nothing.
if there's nothing that crosses over
There's
here.
nothing that crosses
Not
over.
title, but like genre, or not genre, like
movie. Like
universe.
I'm talking about universe. Well, I mean,
Okay, then we gotta. If we don't hit it, then I do have to make a mention.
All right, fair enough. So again, for me, no particular order, just the way I wrote them down. Mission Impossible Fallout, the one with Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Holy fucking shit. Me, Justin, and Nick went and saw that movie. We watched.
Nice.
It was coming out, and like, I think it came out. It was 2018. We were all living together, and we knew it was coming out, and we were like, let's fucking go see it. And we were like we had all seen like a couple of the Mission Impossibles and stuff, like, and we were like,
Which
yeah, like
all belong in this category.
exactly, they all belong except for number 2, because number 2 sucks. Number 2 is so bad.
It could have been 4 of your top 5,
Exactly.
but definitely not number 2.
Not number 2. No. But so we spent like the next the 2 weeks before we were gonna go see it, like just like rewatching all of them. And so we watched all the first 5 leading up to it and stuff. And dude, that first 20 minutes of that movie, before they even dropped the main title and the theme and stuff, we were all like, we looked over at each other and we were like, it was a Sunday night, like small theater. We were the only people in there.
Nice.
So we just had a baller time. Yeah, we were just like the theme dropped to be like, okay, the movie's actually about to start. And it's like a good 15-20 minutes in before it actually does that. There's like a whole arc before. And we were all like, we should leave. Like, it's not going to get better than that. Like, that was a complete narrative and was so fucking good. I don't think we
Nice.
need to even watch the rest. And then obviously we did, and we were all like, thank God we fucking stayed for the rest of it, dude.
Nice.
That one was so good. And Henry Cavill doing his little punch thing where he cocks his arms. You know the story behind that, right?
No?
So the story behind that is that's just something Henry Cavill does.
And they caught it on camera. We're like, it's
Or
in.
what even better, they were like, he like punches his arms just to like, because his shirt was riding up, because he's wearing like a
okay,
dress
yeah.
shirt, and it's like obviously it's Henry Cavill, so they're like, we need the tightest dress shirt we can get to be on this man right now.
Yep.
And so like, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so like they did that, but he was like kept like punching his arms out like that to like pull the sleeves up, because he's like, we're in a
Yeah.
fight scene. And as he did it, because he's so fucking jacked and ripped and stuff, his arms made a noise that kind of sounded like a gun cocking. And the
It's like elbows popped.
the director was like, what the fuck was that? And he was like, oh, I was just getting asleep. And he was like, do it again. And he did it, and he was like, it sounds like you're fucking loading a gun as you're about to like come up to him to Tom Cruise to like punch him in the face and stuff. And he's like, I'm just trying to get this. And they're like, no, we're gonna do a couple takes with that. Like we got like, that's just too fucking good.
That's
dude.
awesome.
They're like, it's too good, which is why it was like the only shot that was in every single trailer for that movie, because they were
Nice.
like, people are gonna want to see what the fuck is happening in that moment.
Okay.
So mine is a little bit. So we do have a crossover.
We do?
I forgot. I'm so
I'm
stupid.
hoping it's the one that I'm thinking it is.
It's Dark Knight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I could not steal that one from you.
I know. Oh, thank
Dark Knight
you.
Rises, right? Like
No, not Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight
Rises.
Which hang on.
Joker. Dark Knight.
Joker. Oh, okay,
Dark
okay.
Knight.
I was gonna say Dark
Heath
Knight.
Ledger. R.I.P.
Yeah. Bless
There
up,
is
buddy.
a little bit more of a time thing in obviously with the bomb at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
that one of Dark Knight Rises, but with Bane and everything. But like the Dark Knight is, because it's more of a like crime thriller that just happens to be based off of very popular superheroes
Okay.
as a movie. Like Christopher Nolan, like that one is very like Batman Begins is like pretty standard origin and stuff. And then, but then he really, I think they really he finds it. He like remembers who he is. He's like, I'm Christopher Nolan. Let me take a step back and tell this story a little bit more like how I would tell a story with a lot of crime and stuff like that. And he just fucking nails it on the fucking head. And it's just like, because there's plenty of time constraint. Like you have the boat scene and stuff like that's just one, but the whole thing is a time thing. Like the whole narrative has a time element to it. Because like as Joker's going and going, worse and worse things are happening all over Gotham and stuff like that. Because it's like it's almost akin to like a serial killer crime drama.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, if you saw the movie that we referenced earlier, Joker's killed a lot of people.
exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go ahead and
And
say,
dude, that opening sequence
oh my god.
where it's like
Oh my
the first person
God.
puts the rope across the building
Yes.
and then gets killed by the second person.
Yeah.
The second person goes across the building and drops
Fucking great.
like
And
whatever the
he's like-
sequence is, but
And
like
he's like, oh yeah, I gotta break it. And when he's he's breaking into the safe, he like says something, and he's like, wait, what do you? He's like, wait, what do you mean I don't need to worry about that? And he pops him in the back of the head. It's perfect. It's
yeah,
fucking perfect.
and then he drives away in a school bus.
It's so perfect. It's honestly that
Ugh.
during the line of, and like again, that's like that was a whole narrative. Cool. Do I even need to watch the rest of this?
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Like, it's another one of those. So
Okay.
it's love it, absolutely love it. So my next one, this one is definitely more action, but there is the time constraint as we're defining the thriller part in this one, because of like how soon, like, because there's people chasing after them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road,
Absolutely.
absolutely right. Like,
Absolutely.
Like there's no way it's not right.
Like, first off, is anyone going to debate that there's action in Mad Max?
Don't even talk to me. Don't even fucking open your
Okay,
mouth if you
okay.
don't know that there's action. Like there's action.
If you don't think there's action in Mad Max, go ahead and unsubscribe from the channel.
Like,
just
yeah,
leave.
just, you know what? I don't even fucking care. Like stop listening if you don't know.
Yeah,
Or like
okay.
don't think. And
But
then
elaborate on the thriller
the
part.
thrilling part is because they're being chased by like, it's been a while since I've seen it, but like the big fucking nasty fucking dude who controls all the water and stuff. They're trying to. Tom Hardy is tasked with him and Charlize Theron are tasked with like taking his concubines like away from him to get somewhere safe as they're being chased by him and his minions the entire time. So like they have to get there. Like the time constraint is like they have to get there faster in a shorter amount of time than they get caught by the people chasing them. So it adds a lot of that. Like I think that adds to the thrilling part is like that is like there's a the entire movie is a chase.
Right. At any point in the movie.
That's why it's Fury Road, man.
Yeah, but
they're
I mean,
on
like,
a road and they're furious.
Like at any point in the movie, if it was reality, like, oh, it's over, boom, the whole thing just blew up. Like, wasn't expecting that.
Absolutely.
Right? Like all these movies, they need to be like a pot of boiling water. You put it on the stove, you turn on the burner, and you just kind of watch it. And you're like, I know it's gonna boil. I don't see anything, and then maybe there's some bubbles, and it's you just watch it, still goes.
It's like that with the frog. How do you boil a frog?
Oh,
you
well,
slowly turn it.
you don't do that. It's just it's unethical.
But it's a phrase.
Yeah, I know, and it's in fact not true.
I'm sure it's not.
Frogs.
Lots of American idioms are not true, but we understand the narrative they're
right.
trying to give us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's fine. But that is how a movie should. See, it's that idiom applies to action thrillers. Like
Yeah.
we're the frog. Slowly turn up that shit, and then at the
it's
climax of the
over here.
movie, fucking crank it all the way up. And then
Jet
turn
oil.
and then turn it back down, because everything worked out just fine for the most part.
Yeah.
In most of these movies, Dark Knight maybe not so much, but that's all. Again,
Fair,
I'm not gonna. This isn't a comic podcast, so I will refrain. So my next one. This is a classic. This is legitimately a classic. The fucking Fugitive, dude. Harrison
That's-
Ford.
Oh.
The Fugitive. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Yes. And there's a ton of
So
Harrison Ford movies that
fucking
could
good.
belong on this.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this is my absolute
Yeah.
favorite one.
Have you seen
It's so
Air
good.
Force One?
Oh, of course.
That was another one that I was like,
Oh yeah,
oh.
that was definitely could have been on. Like if I had to pick a Harrison Ford
Yeah.
one, like if it was a requirement that there had to be one, those were definitely the top two. Like, but I just love The Fugitive so much because Tommy Lee Jones. Because Harrison Ford obviously. Don't get me started.
You said
He's-
Tommy Lee Jones. I mentioned Tommy Lee Smith, the drummer from
Oh.
Motley Crue. I was like, what?
No, I don't think he's in it. Like, but maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking let me know if he is. But Harrison Ford obviously never misses everything he's ever done. I'm always like, yes, I love you, Harrison Ford. You're amazing. But then Tommy Lee Jones being like the antithesis of him in that movie is so fucking perfect. And like, so that's why that one gets it for me over Air Force One.
Fair.
Like, God damn that movie. And again, that scene, that moment. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. And he fucking jumps out of the fucking sewer down into the water.
And then it's on.
And then it's
Yes.
officially on. That fucking speech Tommy Lee Jones gives about the train, being like, telling everybody what to do because he's in charge. I can't remember the details of it, but he's like, I need roadblocks set out, this perimeter, like, da 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 da, like, and then he's like, we got a fugitive. It's like, oh, let's fucking go.
You said the name of the movie in the movie.
Exactly. It's amazing. It's one of the best, like, said the name within the movie moments, you know?
Right.
It's fucking good.
Hey, side note.
Oh.
You know, I was going to say Han Solo was written for. Harrison Ford is who Jurassic Park was written for. But they couldn't. To
Sam
play.
Neill?
Yeah, to
Sam
play
Neill's
Dr.
character?
Grant.
Oh my
So,
God.
but Sam Neill is who ended up playing him.
It's one of those things that's like.
I mean, that's Sam Neill's Han Solo.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that is Sam Neill's character.
I think I'm okay with Sam Neill
Yeah,
doing that over Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, if you
It
weren't
was
into that
so
one,
good.
totally cool. Like,
Totally cool.
we'll let that
He
one
didn't
slide.
he didn't like playing Han Solo. He hated the character Han Solo.
Damn, that hurts.
It sucks, but the good news is he loves playing Indiana Jones.
Fair.
That was his favorite. He was like, if I'm working for Lucasfilm, I want to do fucking Indiana Jones. I don't want to do fucking Han Solo. I want to do Indiana fucking Jones. Man.
So, sidebar.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
John Williams has done the soundtracks, and we're talking about Hans Zimmer, right? John Williams done the soundtrack for a lot of these movies.
Yeah,
And
actually. Yeah,
I was fortunate enough to go see the Chicago Symphony
Oh my
conducted
God,
by
yes.
John Williams. And John is still with it. You can tell it's just like he is.
Got it, baby.
But I mean, he's just like, I'm a physically old person at this point. It's like going home for Christmas and Grandpa is still alive.
Yeah.
And the musicians were like, all your parents who are like trying to make Christmas great for Grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole audience is just like, oh my God, we love you, Grandpa.
So the audience was the kids.
Yeah, the audience
Yeah.
is like the kids, like we're little kids, like, oh, everyone loved it. Amazing concert.
Oh my God,
hands,
I can't imagine.
hands down, like top 5 experiences musically for me
Absolutely,
as an audience member.
I can't even imagine.
But where I'm going with this is there's a running joke in the musicians world about how you only do 9 symphonies and then you die.
Right.
And John Williams is like, okay, this is my last movie. And at some point he goes, something. I spent a lot of times, it was really difficult working on the 5th movie for me. But I'll tell you what, there was a lot of times it felt like it was my 9th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like, oh man, that was
and
dark, John.
everybody in the audience just died laughing. They were like,
Yeah.
"That's super fucking hilarious," but also, don't remind us,
Grandpa, that's really dark for
Yeah,
Christmas.
Don't remind us that you're old, man. We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
Yeah, man, it
Ugh.
felt bad for him because he did like 3 encores, and you're like, I felt like he should have just grabbed the mic and be like, guys, can I not do the thing where
Please.
I walk off stage and walk back on? Like,
Exactly. Like,
I can't do it that many
can I
times.
just be like, okay, we're done. And anyway, like,
yeah,
and
and
then
he
just
closed
play
with
a few more
Indiana
songs.
Jones for the record.
Oh God.
Dude,
I
he
love
played
that.
so 3 encore pieces. He picked Yoda's theme for the first one, which
Oh
is
my
really cool.
God, that's so
Dude,
fucking cool.
I thought that was really cool because like,
That's a pretty dope deep cut to do
like,
during
because he's like, here's the master of music making
Yeah.
his last concert, and it's like it's
Yeah.
Yoda's farewell theme as well.
yeah.
And
That's
it's like,
because he is my
wicked
God, he
choice.
is the Yoda of composing
yeah,
right now.
of film scoring for
of
sure.
film scoring. Yeah, at
Right,
least,
like,
yeah.
He has some
Holy
criticisms
shit.
from the musician world about
Ugh.
yeah,
I don't know enough about it, but also fuck 'em.
for stealing other people's music, but we all know if we're in the business that good composers borrow, great composers steal.
Oh, that's applied to all creative fields.
Yeah, like, John, you're the man. fucking love you.
Yeah.
Like,
Do whatever the fuck you want.
I don't know that I've ever seen a person who has like genuinely shaped my life more or
Yeah.
shaped the life of more people
Yeah.
in a positive manner
Oh yeah.
than this man.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on what the second one he played was, but it was Indiana Jones
Indiana
for like
Jones. Was it
the send-off.
It would have been a Star Wars one. What is it? Jurassic Park?
He played. So we got Jurassic Park
That was
in
probably
there.
in the main.
Yeah, that was in the
Yeah.
main body. He opened it with the Olympic fanfare,
Mm.
right? Like,
Oh yeah. No, that's ridiculous.
sick.
That's fucking
Like
awesome.
that was awesome. We got Harry Potter. We got
Oh, yeah.
we got
Dude,
3 pieces from Star Wars.
Yeah.
E.T. and I'm sure I'm blanking on some other ones. There's so much John Williams that
Oh, it's
could have been picked.
it's bottomless. You know, it seems
For
like.
real.
Like,
For real.
well, fuck. I know he's not gonna play anymore, but like, if Hans Zimmer's playing, let me know.
We still got Hans Zimmer for I
I would
don't know
love
if
to
he
see
can
a
ducks.
Hans. I would love to see a Hans Zimmer
Concert, yeah.
concert. Like, if that
I
ever
can get behind
happens,
that.
we need to go.
Bet.
Dude, that fucking Interstellar scene, the redox scene, that live.
Is Interstellar on your list?
No, it's not.
Okay, good, because I didn't like the movie.
Okay, well we can't talk about that right now. We can't
It's
talk
too
about
real for me, man.
It's that's why I love it. But anyway, that's for a different.
But I couldn't enjoy it because I was like, oh shit, man, I don't want to talk to my
Completely-
closet anymore.
It's a completely
talk to the
different
closet?
conversation. Talk to your closet.
You don't?
My last one is my last one's John Wick, dude.
Okay.
There's
so,
not as much thriller like time
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
But like, God, it's
That's-
just so good.
Okay, so that's my problem with
It's
John Wick and
so
why it's not
good.
on the list.
I
Like,
know,
if you
but
had said
it's so
action movie, number 1, and I don't care which one you pick,
Any of them.
all the John Wick movies are
Any of-
freaking
in
awesome.
In the fucking newest one, when he has the flamethrower gun and
okay.
flamethrower gun, he's
So
going
those
up the
are
fucking
actual
stairwell.
projectiles.
I know.
It's called
amazing.
Dragon's Breath round, and that's
It's
like,
amazing.
it's sick.
It's
But
so
my favorite
good.
part of that was the camera work.
Exactly,
I
that
haven't
whole
seen-
scene.
yeah.
He has the coolest fucking gun, and then the camera work of the scene with the coolest fucking gun in the entire series is
Eyeball porn.
fucking exactly. It's a fucking amazing. You're gonna get real horned up for that one, ladies and gentlemen. Like, oh god. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know with the first one, I know
We
There's
know
not-
once. Okay, so let me defend you
there's
here
not
for
much.
a second.
Really, please.
Right?
I
Okay,
need all
I'm
the
gonna
help I
I'm gonna
can
ruin the
get.
spoiler for you guys. Dog dies.
Yeah.
Right? And that is the light on the stove for the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was fine. It was a nice bottle of Fiji water, just chill and cool and
Exactly.
refreshing and crisp and delightful.
Everybody was having a fucking fantastic.
And then you shot his dog.
Yep.
Or at least killed. I don't remember if he shoots it or not. But anyway,
Ah.
at that point,
So sad.
that's when the thriller begins because we know he is going to lose his damn mind.
Exactly. That's what honestly, that's kind of like what I'm thinking is like, I know that like the longer it takes him to get to like his end
To
goal.
Theon Greyjoy.
Exactly. The worse it's going to get.
You'll be lucky if he only cuts his wiener
It's
off.
another. Yeah, right. Yeah, he'll
Game
be
of Thrones
praying.
reference.
He'll be praying
Like,
for
please,
Ramsay.
just the wiener.
He's like, please be Ramsay coming for me instead of John Wick. Like that's what he would be
Yeah.
saying. But like it's kind of like it's a loose like we're seeing the movie through the bomb's perspective, like Joker, but we're rooting for him more.
Yeah, we want to see this bomb go off. And update, it does go off.
Oh yeah.
All right, one thing I was disappointed with in that movie,
Oh, what's that?
at some point, I think he references like, John, how many people have you killed?
Oh yeah.
And he just, like his, like 90% of his script in that movie is just, yeah.
Yeah, he does
Right?
talk a lot.
And then he goes, a lot. I wish someone in the producers had been like, oh yeah, it's 473.
Yeah,
Like-
just like
Like dead ass, it's the movie, it's
just
the
like
kill count up at that point.
knows exactly how many.
Like, fuck, bro.
Yeah, adds how many he's killed just in that movie and all the people before. He's just like he like stares for a second, maybe looks up a little bit, being like doing some mental math.
Yeah,
and he's
then
like
it's
482.
437.
Yeah, like just
John, that's a lot. Yeah.
exactly. Cushion it with the yeah after. It's perfect. All right. So now that we got our pedigree for what we got going for our action thriller, we're gonna do. Everybody knows because you press play on this episode. We're doing Snakes on a Plane. And so we're gonna go over the reviews real quick, or not the reviews. We're gonna do that in a second. We're gonna do the ratings, and this one's a little different. I for a second was like, oh shit, we can't do this movie, shockingly, because I think I've said it on the podcast before, but so I usually go for 59% or less, like a absolute, like a
Okay.
failing grade.
Can I tell this side?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he's like, hey, man, you want to come on the podcast?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I'd love to, of course. He's like, what movie do you want to
Kinda
do?
ridiculous.
And instantly, because we had talked about this previously, I was like, snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
Right? There is no way if you're sitting here at home going, like, wow, when I think of great movies,
Yeah.
and Snakes on a Plane came on your list, I have some questions for you.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions for you.
Like, okay, so we checked.
If I can check,
checked
I was driving to work on a Tuesday, and I was like,
We are shocked.
I need to check what that is just because I'm curious, like what it is. I haven't seen what the score is. The fucking critic review on Rotten Tomatoes for Snakes on a Plane is 69%, which is better than the first one that comes to mind that we've done on this show is A Knight's Tale, which was at a 59. This is
Right.
10%. Snakes on a Plane is 10% better
Then A Knight's Tale.
than A Knight's Tale. Like, are you
Right.
fucking
And
kidding me?
can I just like shit on James Cameron for a second? Like,
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that it has a higher rating than one of the Avatar movies,
Probably.
or we already referenced it, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Right? Like, nothing shitty about James Cameron, but like, we all know it was Dances with Wolves
Yep.
on mushrooms. That's Avatar.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you haven't seen Dances with Wolves,
Watch
go
it.
watch it.
And then take some mushrooms.
And then, if you're in an area, the part of the world where that's legal, go
Yes.
ahead and, proceed as
And
is.
if you're in a safe space,
safe space, you should
be in a
always
safe
be in a
space.
safe space when you can be.
And the most important part is if it's legal for you. That would be
Right.
the most important part.
Follow your local rules and regulations.
Please, always. But honestly, it's just Snakes on a Plane is 69%. I was freaking out. I was driving to work that day, and I was like, I don't text and drive. I did voice to text while I was driving, so hands free. So do that as well.
Hands free on the wheel as well.
Yeah.
Look, I'm steering with my knees.
I don't know how I get anywhere. But I was like, dude, we can't fucking do this movie. Because I explained, I was like, I usually go for stuff that's 59 or less, I screamed all this at my phone and hit send. And before he hit send, he'd reply, I was like, I got to a stop sign, a notorious long stop at it on my route to work, and I was like, okay, I still had the page pulled up on my phone, so I was like, let me click on the actual Rotten Tomatoes site, and so I clicked on it, and then I was like, no, we can do this movie, we can spin it, we can spin this because the fucking
There's some controversy here.
the audience score is 49%.
Oh.
Which is ridiculous. So the critics, Snakes on a Plane, you obviously know what the fucking movie is. It's Snakes
and we
on a
love
Plane.
these in America. We love experts.
Yes.
The experts.
Yeah. Say it's 69%, and the audience gave it a 49. I don't think I've ever done a movie on this show
With that much separation.
with that not even with that much separation. Excuse me. With the critics liking the movie more ever. It's always
always inverted.
the audience score is always or the critic score
Can
is
we see
always
the-
20%, and then the audience is 70.
Can we see what it is for A Knight's Tale, just for reference? Can we do it
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
no, that's a perfect reference. I should have had it written down.
Right? Because we all go back A Knight's Tale, that was a great movie.
I'm pretty
Critics
sure it's
said
in.
no.
I'm pretty sure it's in the mid 80s. I don't know. If you don't know, listen to the other episode too, because I talk about it in there. But so yeah, 59% critic, 79% audience.
Yeah. Hey, what's the first number?
Is it 20%? 59 critic,
Critic. Yeah,
79
20
audience.
point disparity,
20 point
so it's a
disparity.
flip.
But it's usually the other way around,
Yeah.
right? It's usually usually with the bad movies that we do here, it's
The inversion.
it's the other way. And
Yeah.
it's just I was shocked, and I was like, no, we have to do this movie because that's really fucking weird. That's really fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
But then so then we got IMDb, which is always IMDb. This is
Classic.
purely users. 5.5 out of 10, which is every movie I've ever done is between 5 and 7.
Perfect.
And it's just like, all right, so that's normal.
Are there any like 1s and 2s ever?
We haven't gotten to ones that rough yet.
I was gonna say there's not much of a debate if it's down that low.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. I mean, I can argue for some bad movies. I do love some ones that are really bad, but like honestly, the IMDb ones that are like 1 out of 10s, those are like movies that somebody somehow was able to get onto Amazon Prime and on like for free. That was like a student film they made over like 2 weeks, that like a horror film they made over 2 weeks that somehow somebody saw and was decided to watched the whole thing and decided to go rate it. You know what I mean? Like that's it's weird.
it doesn't deserve a rating.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
So like if it's at a 1 or 2, it's like that means there's one review because someone doesn't have anything else better to do with their life but watch this terrible movie and then rate it. And then Metacritic has a 58, so 58%.
Okay.
Which is okay, a little bit more what I was expecting.
It's incredibly average.
Yeah, but then the user 7.3. So
Out
like
of
10.
10. Okay.
10. So I thought that's how it was going to go for Rotten Tomatoes. Because I usually base it all off on Rotten Tomatoes because that's what most people use. Metacritic does more than just movies. Rotten Tomatoes just does movies. So I'm like, I always use the Rotten Tomatoes one for my percentage to be like, oh, is this quote unquote good or bad in their eyes and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. 69%. I'm arguing it's bad and Chris is arguing it's good, by the way.
I'm not arguing it's good. It's a great movie.
Okay, so he's arguing it's a great movie. It's a great action thriller. But regardless, those scores are a little bit weird, huh? Like, that's weird. The Rotten Tomatoes ones. The IMDb and the Metacritic, I'm like, that all tracks. That's in line with everything else I've done. Rotten Tomatoes, 69%. Technically shouldn't be being talked about.
No, I'm good. I'd give it the 6 to 8 out of 10, right? Somewhere in there.
I mean, yeah. Like,
that's
so
fair,
you mean like 5.5 or 7.3, somewhere between.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, I'm not arguing that belongs on the 4 side. I'm not arguing for like 10. This isn't like Star Wars where it's like that belongs on like an 11 out of 10. If you don't, think it's the truth. You're a bastard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, shame.
But it's just like it's just. I was very surprised. Yeah. So we almost didn't do this movie because the critics love it, like arguably.
Strangely.
Which is.
Strangely.
It's weird. But speaking of the critics, we're gonna do good quote, bad quote. I always do good quote first.
Good quote from the movie?
No. Good quote from the critics.
Oh, okay.
So like I have a quote.
So I have to say something good to make you feel better.
No, I have a quote from critics.
Oh, okay.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
We're getting to that part.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's where we are. So we're doing good quote, bad quote. Bad quote second, good quote first, because the bad quotes are the most fun. Whether I'm arguing it's good or bad, they're always the most fun ones to do because these people are hurt by this movie. They hit it so hard. But so the good quote comes from J.R. Jones for the Chicago Reader, and he said back in 2006, quote, "The plot is ridiculous and the characters are cardboard. But none of that really matters once the snakes get into the fuselage and start zapping people. The very definition of entertainment," end quote. That's a pretty fucking high praise. Like, it's like, yeah, this movie's fucking dumb. And, like, the characters are just there. But god damn, do you love watching it. Like, and I love that. That was my favorite quote.
It's like Chicken McNuggets, man.
Most of the, again, 69%, like, most of the good quotes had that same kind of, like, tone. Where they're like, you're not going to, like, write a thesis on it, but, like, you're sure as fuck going to love watching this shit.
No one watched this movie and then proposed afterwards.
Exactly.
Right? It's not like let's use Titanic, right? Say something good about James Cameron. Right? I really don't hate the guy. Just Dance with Wolves. I don't get it.
I know.
Right. I just don't.
He's done a lot of good stuff.
But Titanic.
Aliens is great.
He did all the Alien movies.
He did
Alien or Aliens?
Alien 1 is Ridley Scott. Aliens is James Cameron.
Oh.
And Aliens is great.
Yeah.
And then after that, they get... But
right.
We're not talking about it.
Titanic.
Listen to the Tyler Eads episode, the first episode of the podcast, to hear more about Alien.
Yeah, but like again, Titanic, like that was a movie. Like if you were told that, like, yeah, I was conceived after my parents saw Titanic, like,
right.
Believable.
Okay.
Snakes on a plane.
Something's wrong.
Dad, I didn't need to hear that.
Like, oh, so you're a really weird guy, right? Like, yeah, like you're a weird person if that's what your conception was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not wrong. J.R. Jones is not wrong, and I think that's a very, I just love that. I think it's not a backhanded. I don't think it's a backhanded compliment. It kind of is.
Yeah. No. I'll
It is.
defend it later because I thought of something on this.
All right,
we'll
fair
circle
enough.
back.
All right. So we're gonna do the bad quote now. This one, Owen here was real upset about this movie. So Owen Gleiberman for Entertainment Weekly, he said, quote, "The plot is ridiculous and the characters are..." Wait, what?
Did you read the same quote or is it identical?
Why didn't it post it? Hold on. Oh my god. Why did it repost the same one? We're having technical issues.
No, it literally said the same one.
No.
Here, tell you what, Jacob. I have been enjoying
actually would be really funny.
I was going to say, I've been enjoying our sponsors so much and I'm incredibly hydrated that I'm going to go use the little boy's room.
Perfect.
So while you figure that out, well, editors, go ahead and fix that in the background.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll be right back.
Many editors I pay to do this. I'm going to find this. Hey, grab me another beer. If you
Our
don't
other
mind.
sponsor, Yingling Flight.
Hopefully soon.
Please.
Let me find that shit.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And as it turns out, there is nothing on the internet that says it's a bad movie.
No, there's nothing on Rotten Tomatoes that says it's a bad movie.
Therefore, it's great.
What the fuck happened? So there used to be on Rotten Tomatoes, a fucking bad quote by Owen Gleiberman for Entertainment Weekly that said something that was real harsh. And for some reason it's not on my phone, and when I go to the website, it's not there anymore. So I don't know what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes website, but that's interesting. Seems like it's a conspiracy.
I don't control the internet.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what they'd want you to say.
I don't know. We'll talk about it later. So I found another one from Metacritic, real quick. So Peter Travers from Rolling Stone said, quote, "It's not so bad that it's good. It's so bland that it's boring. Not even worth a hiss." End quote.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty lame.
That was lame because, like, if you were bored during this movie, I don't know how to help you.
I know it wasn't. I had such a good quote because he said something like, Gleiberman for Entertainment Weekly. I swear to God, he had said something like, something along. If someone can find this article and send it to me.
Tag it in the comments below.
Fucking please. Yeah, please actually genuinely do that. Because I feel like I'm going insane. But, like, it said something along the lines of, like, he said something about, so the movie was originally going to be called Flight 121. Or that's what the official title was supposed to be. We're actually going to talk about that here in a second. Because it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. But
the Easter egg?
Yeah, exactly. Like this, like, behind the scenes thing, I think is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
But regardless, he was like, "Oh, this movie could have been called Anaconda 3: Flight or Fear, or as it was supposed to be called, Flight 121, and you'd still be like fucking bored out of your mind or some shit like that." I don't know. It was real rude. It was real because I read it to Austin before you came over, and she was like, "Ow," like, "Ow, that's a lot."
Well, you know what? They took it down because you have no taste.
Apparently.
You're a classless loser.
Hey man, I was just gonna read Owen Gleiberman's words, not mine.
Oh yeah, sorry, that wasn't directed to you. That was directed Owen Lieberman.
Owen Gleiberman.
Owen Gleiberman.
Gleiber, yeah.
Yeah, you have no taste.
Well, he's getting paid to write movie reviews.
Well, 69% of your peers said it was good.
Fuck, you're right. All right, never mind.
Damn.
Fuck this. All right, we're gonna move on. So speaking of, we're gonna get immediately into it. So as always, I like to do I'm saying it's bad, so I'll say something that's good about it, or I do like about it. You say something that's bad about it because you're saying it's good. What do you not like about it? Because we were talking about it, and you're like, oh, I have something, and then about
Oh yeah.
20 or 30
okay.
minutes into
I
the
was like,
movie,
there's
you
a
were like,
second one. Let
yeah,
me
20 or 30
oh.
minutes into the movie, you were like, I actually have another
Let's see
one, but
what's
I'll
the
write
second
it down and
one.
we'll
Okay,
talk about
okay.
it later. All right, what is it?
All
What are
right.
they?
So you want the first one, the one that like the actual one was like, yeah, we need to discuss this up front. Okay.
Hit me with it.
So if you don't know me, I am a big fan of everything that crawls across the earth. All our creepy crawlers, our scaly friends, our fishy friends, our whale friends. Power to the orcas right now if you were listening to this.
Yeah, take down them boats.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fuck them
Hell
boats.
Yeah.
Right?
Good news,
Okay.
they're communicating across all oceans. They're teaching
It's a
each other
network.
across the world. Let's go.
Right? I am Team Orca on this one.
Eat the rich, baby.
Orca 2024.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
You might be wondering how that submarine went.
You told me you were going to shoot
Orca
her in
whales.
the submarine somehow.
I meant to hit that when I said Red October.
I thought so, but I was going to wait and see. But regardless.
Regardless. Yeah.
August
So-
2024.
So
Continue.
my problem with movies, anytime we make a villain out of an animal, like 9 billion times out of, I don't know, 9 billion and 1, right?
Yeah.
It's humans who are the fucking problem, not the animal, right? The
Yeah.
classic example I'll give you is Jaws,
Yes.
right? That fucked sharks for
It
generations.
did, dude. It's
Completely
bad, dude. People
undeserved.
get more killed by dogs, vending machines.
Dogs, vending machines, bees, auto accidents, homeless people in New York, people
Yeah.
with homes in New York.
No. It's been good since the 70s.
I don't know what the murder rate is like in New York.
It's one of the safest places to live these days.
Okay, but
But they had a pretty
you've got
bad
a
70s.
better chance of swimming in the ocean safely with sharks
Yes.
than you do. Well, you probably have a better chance of surviving a shark attack in New York City, but you got what I'm saying,
Yes.
right? It plays snakes in a bad light, and the reality is snakes are not bloodthirsty killers, and they,
No.
there is some suspension of disbelief that they apply some like pheromones to it in there, so
Yes.
they do address it.
Which
a
makes
little bit.
them more aggressive and horny, but in this case, aggressive. So,
Yeah, it could be both.
so
there's
it works.
Fuck me or fight me. You just pick one, and I don't care which.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So with like,
Well, that one snake was trying to fuck that one woman who was asleep.
Oh no, she
Shit, that was a whole. I forgot about that
She
scene.
did get
Honestly, I
fucked.
forgot about that whole sequence of her. Like,
Yeah.
she was asleep and she was.
But
Something was happening.
but where I'm going with this is, humans are already afraid of snakes. We're naturally afraid of them. It's actually there's something on PBS Eon's channel if you watch that. It's a
Don't.
good sciencey adventure. Didn't expect honestly anyone to. It's pretty cool though.
I've seen
PBS,
Nova.
Yeah, it's another PBS product. PBS Eons has one where they're talking about humans can see snakes faster than like any other creature. It's pretty wild actually how
That's
like
interesting.
watch. Well, can we link it in the show notes if I can find it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll make an attempt to
should
put it in
be
there
able to
because
do it.
like humans are deathly afraid of snakes. The reality is most snakes just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
So that is my criticism of the movie. You should not be afraid of snakes. If you see a
That's
snake
fair.
in the wild, just get out of its way. Leave it alone. Stamp your feet. Don't touch it.
Just
If you
be
stamp,
cool.
Yeah, if you stamp
Everybody
your
be
feet,
cool. Be cool. Everybody will be cool.
they feel your feet or they feel footsteps coming through vibrations,
Yeah,
and
they don't like
oftentimes they'll slither off the trail.
Don't be like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, if you see it, enjoy it from a distance. Don't pick it up.
No.
Number one cause of snake bites in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
is drunk people throwing them at each other.
Is that real?
According to my grandpa.
Well,
Which
I believe it.
everything your grandpa tells you is true, which is also why the number one category of snakes biting people in Australia
Mhm.
is from the boomer, or not the boomer generation, the older generation that still thinks you need to kill them when you see them.
Right.
Right? Oh, let me hit it with a machete. Oh, it whacked me while I was trying to kill it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fighting for its life.
And you're in Australia, and now you're dead because
Yeah, look,
Australia's
been there. The snakes are not the concern.
no. There's a lot of other things to be worried about there.
Yeah.
But that's fair. I mean, yeah,
you don't
like
need to be
it's-
worried about it. So that's my number one criticism.
Yeah.
Number two criticism.
Oh yeah, what was number 2? I was
Number
curious,
2
'cause,
criticism.
Like we were watching the movie.
Red Bull.
Oh my god, yes, that's what it was. You
The
said
amount
it.
of product placement for it. Look, it's an inferior energy drink. To go ahead and insert whoever wants to sponsor this.
Yeah.
Um,
To insert sponsor here.
Yeah, to insert sponsor here because wow, this energy drink is so good and it's keeping me energized through this podcast.
I think if we got Celsius, I think it is. I know a lot of people who like that one. So if we could get Celsius on here, get everybody a discount code, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I know The Rock has one. My boy Derek at More Plates, More Dates has one that just came out.
Oh, okay.
And then if there's any Devil Dogs out there listening to this one, for 99 cents, crack a rip it.
My God, what the fuck is that? Does that have crack in it?
It is both energy and pain in a can.
So it's crack.
Yes, but the Marine Corps allows it.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Or maybe not good to
No,
know.
it's made by a veteran. It's an energy drink and it's like 99 cents.
Oh, okay, sweet. Oh, okay, so like the Arizona green tea.
Yeah,
like Arizona tea.
like
Yeah,
that, but
That's fair.
it's a budget energy drink. So
All right, well, we'll take sponsors for any of them, including Red Bull, even though we just shit all over it.
we can't afford Red Bull over
I
here.
fucking hate Red Bull. I fucking hate Red Bull anyway. I don't give a fuck. But I will take your money.
All right, what you got to say good about this
So
movie?
what I like about this movie is the first thing I wrote down was Samuel Jackson. Just like
Absolutely kills it.
Has he ever missed? Has he ever
No.
missed?
No.
Like, he's so fucking good. He's playing a fucking dickhead, he's like a chaotic good. We're gonna get into like D&D, like role playing games.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
He's an anti-hero.
in a way, yeah. 'cause
No, that's
he's like-
absolutely what he is. He's
like an
non-traditional.
asshole.
He is the hero of the movie,
Yes.
and he does it through a non-traditional form.
Yeah. So,
Right?
yeah.
He's an
That's fair.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, sometimes you're like, man, why are you being such a dick? Right.
Yeah. Like,
It's awesome.
man, you weren't enjoyable, and but like, you're awesome in this movie. So,
So I had a second thing too, though.
Ooh.
I will say. So
Red Bull.
No. No. Fuck Red Bull. Give me your money. Sponsor me. I didn't remember the because obviously we were talking about action thriller and like the time part of it and stuff. I did not remember that we got to see how soon, or like we didn't get to see when the bomb went off of the snakes. They show a timer
Yeah.
in the snake box. I didn't remember that part, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool because that's how Alfred Hitchcock described suspense.
Yeah.
If you have people in a boardroom and a bomb goes off, you're going to be like, whoa, that was jarring. Anyway, whatever. Big deal. But if you show the audience that there's a bomb underneath the table that is going to go off and then go back to the boring boardroom meeting, that's going to add a lot of suspense and be like a better way to tell that story. So they do that in this. They show that a bomb is going to go off.
A snake bomb.
A snake bomb, which is radical as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
And authorized by the Geneva Convention. Or it doesn't say you can't do it.
Exactly. I don't know if it's authorized, but it's
update though, having that many snakes in Hawaii is a big no-no.
Yeah,
which is where the movie starts off.
Yep.
But big no-no. They're very controlling about what species can be brought on and off. So I'm sure there's
Yeah,
not.
of course.
But I'm going to mention that while we got it. Shout out to the people of Hawaii. I do not know enough about what's going on.
Yes, I wish I knew more.
But yeah, so thoughts to them. But if you know a good not-for-profit to donate to help relief with that, I'm going to donate $100 out of my pocket. So
Yes.
please nominate
Specifically, or like it would be great if it was about the wildlife. Too.
Ideally for me, yeah, because
for you
there's
personally, yeah, but like
there's
just
some
like
very unique natural habitats in Hawaii, but like
absolutely.
yeah, there's definitely human issues going on there right now.
So definitely, I usually don't do it, but I'm gonna do a Q&A on this episode. So when you listen to it on Spotify, there will be a question at the bottom. If you like swipe up, when you listen to a song and you want to see the lyrics, there'll be you can do that with this. You'll be able to do that with this episode, and the question is going to be like, what is a reliable, trustworthy place to donate to that? And so people, please just send me those links and stuff. I'll share them, and feel free to donate. They need help. So
Yeah.
we were talking about this as the movie began because we were like, oh shit, it starts in
Yeah.
Hawaii and like shit's
Oof.
going on. So yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
So yeah, let us know, and we should all help take care of that because I mean, fuck it. It's not
Yeah.
happening to us, but doesn't mean it's not
It
happening
doesn't
to
mean it's
people.
not gonna someday.
Yeah, or it doesn't mean it's not happening currently to other people, you know? So,
Sure.
like, you know, if you got some change, fucking throw it at them. But yeah, so the bomb going off, I did love that they kind of incorporated that Hitchcockian suspense element. And I wrote that down. I was like, oh, actually, like, I didn't even know. Like, oh, they kind of, like, do some Hitchcock kind
By
of
the way,
storytelling.
Hitchcock is like action thriller defined.
He invented suspense.
Yeah.
Like, like,
thematic
he
device.
perfected suspense. Like,
yeah, as a
in
plot
filmmaking.
device. Like, yeah.
He's amazing. He's so good. To that point though, I immediately wrote another note down. So when they show us the timer, it's 2 hours. And it's like, okay, so 2 hours from now, the snakes are gonna come out. 5 minutes later, if even in the movie, they show 2 minutes later. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's not how it's supposed to go. A minute after that, it's 5 seconds. And I'm like, that's they started to do something good. Again, the movie's only like an hour and 30, hour 40
Look, they
long.
gotta fit a lot in.
I know,
into
but
there.
if you add 30 minutes to that movie, you can
gotta cook it.
you can go 2 hours.
Yeah, but like, what are you
And
gonna
then
do on
go
the plane for
1
for
hour.
30 minutes to, you know what I mean, to create the suspense that's going on?
Oh, plenty of stuff. Fucking Tim Riggins was getting fucked in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, we could use another like 10 minutes of that scene.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Yeah, that was pretty great. We're gonna get to that in a second
Yeah, we'll
because
get to
that's
that.
that's like the first kill and like when shit pops off. But like, so like that was my thing with it. I was like, oh come on, man.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
you started to do something really good in filmmaking. Like
wait.
shout out.
Aren't you supposed to be saying something good right now?
I did. They did that. But
They
now
did
I'm
it.
going
They
into
could
the
have done it
bad.
better.
But they could have done it better. They
Okay.
did it. They brought in like these snakes are going to be released, and like here's how much time.
now.
But then it was like they're going to be released in 2 hours, 5 minutes now, and I'm like, okay,
Jarring.
give me some, like, or don't even show me the timer. Even better, I think the Hitchcock thing is you don't know how much time there is left. Because like think about it when Hitchcock was saying this, you didn't have digital timers
Yeah.
on
You
bombs.
just hear the.
It was just so you would just see it going around, and then go back to the board meeting, and then go back to. You're like, how many minutes are left on this fucking stopwatch that's attached to this device? Like
yeah.
they didn't implement it in a modern way, in a way that I was like, oh, okay, cool, we're still doing it and it's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's why I was a little upset about it. But the fact that they like went for it and tried to do it in 2006, I was like, all right, bet. Like that's kind of cool. But they fucked it up.
Eh.
What do you mean?
Okay, well, so I mean, do we want to get
Can
the
you
good?
elaborate?
I will, because I actually like because my first part of the good of this movie. You know, are we good to move to that part of the podcast or?
Oh yeah, no, we're moving past that. Fucking,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So like, just to get to like, you know, initial thoughts on like why is this movie so good?
Yes.
You ever have a ham and cheese sandwich?
Yeah, all the time.
Tell me about a ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, that's great. You just
What's
get
in
some
it?
Ham, cheese.
Yeah.
You got your bread.
Yep, because it's a sandwich.
Maybe like a nice
You're
Dijon.
thinking too hard, man. The
Oh.
name of the sandwich says everything that's gonna be in it.
I know, but you gotta have some salt,
Some salt.
some sauce.
Oh, okay, some sauce. Yeah,
You gotta have some sauce,
I got you. But what I'm saying,
and not mayo, because mayo's fucking gross. A
so
nice
like maybe
Dijon.
we'll put a little like romance
something
in the movie.
complex.
But where I'm going with this is the name of the movie tells you everything you need to expect.
Oh god damn it.
There's no fluff about it. Like Avatar, what the fuck is that movie about? It's Dances with Wolves. We're gonna keep coming back to it, right? But like snakes on a plane. Yeah, there's just gonna be some snakes,
Is snakes a metaphor?
and there's gonna be a plane,
Is it
right?
like- Is it like plane because it's like an open field, but like it's spelled like
No.
plane, like an airplane?
No, you're thinking too hard.
Oh.
Right? It's one of those movies where it's like, it was such a simple concept. How can we make a movie about it? Like, this movie could have simply been like a film project where it's like, all right, we're both gonna pick a noun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make a movie out
Oh,
of those two things.
it's a
an ad lib.
yeah, it's an ad lib. It's like an ad lib. Yeah.
We both
like,
picked a noun, and I picked snake, and you picked plane, and we're like,
Yeah, it was blank on a blank, and that's what they rolled with. So
noun, prepositional phrase, noun.
So a funny thing about this movie is this is one of those I think it's real because I've seen it a lot. Like behind the scenes kind of. This is what I was talking about earlier. About something that I do like that I think is funny and like I like it because it made Samuel L. Jackson allegedly do the movie. Apparently he got sent the script. They're like, hey, like, would you play this character? Like, here's the script. And the working title was Snakes on a Plane. While they were like shopping
Okay.
what
Well,
the
they're
name
like, maybe
was
we'll call
actually
it
going to
like
be.
121.
Yeah, because I think the actual name that they were getting close to settling on was Flight 121 to add some mystique
Yeah.
and like some mystery. And
Okay.
stuff. And Samuel L. Jackson was like, "I'll totally do it, but you got to keep the name the same.
Yes.
It has to be Snakes on a Plane. It has to be called Snakes on a Plane, or I'm not going to do it." And so,
Okay.
and which in my mind makes me think that Samuel L. Jackson read it, was like, this is a shit movie, but it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yes.
And I can just kind of like go off and do whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure that we stick with a B-list movie title, a B action movie title, to try to let people know they're not signing up for anything crazy. And I do genuinely love that, but at the same time, I'm like, so Samuel L. Jackson, one of the best parts of this movie, knew it was a bad movie. So it's like, I feel like that
Yeah.
furthers my point.
It's deep
Again,
quality content with A+
could
execution.
That could be some bullshit internet film lore. But I've seen that multiple times. I've never seen an interview where he says that story. I've just seen
Dude, I
people
would love to
talking
watch-
about how he said that. So
I would
who
love to
knows?
watch interviews with him.
Oh my god, he's the
But
best.
yeah, look, dude, the movie says what it's going to do,
Yes.
right? It says its name, like,
Ham and cheese.
right? It's ham and cheese, right? And they get on the plane, and there's the ham, and the yacht, right? So I love that about the movie. Second,
Yes.
thing to add to that, and this is why I was coming back to that thing about the bomb going off so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The movie accelerates through this, like, it does the bare minimum it needs to get to the point of the movie, which is snakes on the plane.
Exactly, but like again for me, like that's B movie shit. Like, make me. I don't care about 3Gs. I don't care about the fucking girl with the dog. I don't care about the
You have
newlywed.
some characters.
I don't care about the newlywed couple. I don't care about.
Does the newlywed couple live?
No, they die brutally. That's when Austin sat down to watch.
Oh, okay. I don't remember if they died or
finally.
not because they took out their lays. I thought that was gonna like save them.
Yeah, see, and that's like it was like a red herring that they'd be fine, but like then they weren't.
Yeah,
So
so
that was kind of
whatever.
weird. But
But I mean, like the movie does a good job of like, hey, we're
I
in
don't
Hawaii. But they do a good job of like, look, we got to get a reason for them to be on an airplane. So here's the deal. Homeboy is driving his motorcycle through Hawaii. Cool. And he sees a dude who gets murdered brutally.
oh yeah, he's
by-
hanging from a tree, he's all bloody, and he's like, "Run away,
Right.
run
and then
away!"
he gets murdered.
While he's hanging out. I mean, I'm not.
And then they're like, oh shit, the white dude saw us kill the guy. So now we
Yeah.
got to go find him and kill him.
Okay, I will say I did quick note. I'm gonna let you finish.
Please.
But I got really annoyed at the very beginning of the movie because of that moment when he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get out of here. I've got my dirt bike," and instead of like slowly walking away with his dirt bike until he could like take off and it wouldn't immediately notify them that he was there, he gets on his dirt bike literally 5 yards away from where this scene is happening and goes and takes off. And I'm
No,
like,
no.
bro, walk it down.
Uh-uh.
Walk it down 100 yards, then take off.
Bro, have you seen Rambo?
Yeah.
Dirt bikes are the best getaway vehicles, hands down.
They are, but he should have been smart enough to be like, I need to not let them think that this is coming from further away and I didn't see them. Let me walk it down a little bit. He was going downhill.
You know what he needed? He needed Jules in Pulp Fiction,
Oh my god.
right? Bitch, be cool.
He was there, but not till later.
Right, it was a different character.
He wasn't there at that moment.
They do a really good job of going like, oh, look, I saw a murder. Run away. Oh, they found me. Now I'm a witness. Don't worry, I got rescued by Samuel Jackson. Don't worry, we're going to fly you back to the...
Yeah.
like, we're going to create a reason for you to have to go to LA and get on the plane. Boom, they're on the plane. It takes like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but like, they spend, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 minutes of that introducing me to all the other characters that are going to be on the plane. And then that's it. I'm just like, okay, so this is a rich bitch with a dog. This is a famous rapper.
Do any of
This
those have
is
to do with action or being thrilling?
No.
No. So we just got to cut that shit. We got to get like the bare minimum in.
No, but like,
You got to get the bare minimum in.
you have to make me care about the characters. When they die, when these characters start to die, I need to give a fuck.
Oh, I mean, they're all going to die, so like we don't want you to give a fuck about them.
No, but like when they die, it needs to make sense. Perfect example. Samuel L. Jackson's partner.
Okay.
He's like, oh, he's my.
He's the
partner.
toughest guy I
He's
ever
the
knew.
toughest guy I ever knew. 5 minutes later, he goes down
Crying.
the stairs. He's crying because there's snakes. They bite him. We don't see him speak or talk, we barely see him on screen until his death scene. 30 minutes later, death scene is maybe a minute long. He's just like, oh, you're having a panic attack, and he's like pats his chest because he can't talk because he's dying from it, and he like rips his shirt open, and he's like, oh, he's super infected, and he's like, ugh, and he dies. Samuel Jackson's like, damn, that's so fucked up, and that's it. And I'm like, so they took the time to shoot this intimate death scene, but the only thing we've heard about this dude before is, that's my partner. We've both been through 2 bad marriages.
So you take
all
the
this
ham
shit.
and you take the cheese and you make a sandwich.
I'm just
quick
saying,
and
the
simple.
fact that they took the time to have a very dramatic death scene with Samuel L. Jackson, our alleged main character hero.
He's not the main character.
Alleged. He's not.
He's not the main character.
But like they portray him to be.
No, he's just the best character in the movie.
Who's the main character?
The main character is the guy who sees the murder. See, the best part is I can't even name his name, but also name the name of Samuel Jackson in the movie. He's Samuel Jackson.
I can name Tiffany, the flight attendant who's
and
trying to get with the
G3,
witness.
the
G3, or
and then-
no, it's 3 G's,
3 G's.
like
yeah.
3 stacks.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah,
3
yeah, yeah.
grand.
And then there's Tim Riggins.
And there's Tim Riggins. Yeah,
There's Tim Riggins.
his name was definitely Tim Riggins. I think if you go on his IMDb, it probably says like guy who fucks and dies in bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
he
not
does
a
not
lot of
have an
characters.
actual name.
But again, the point of this movie is not quality character development. They're not trying to make a sequel. They're not trying to make a prequel. The point is to make a movie about snakes on a plane, which is my whole point.
I see, and I understand that, and I respect that. But
Mhm.
like, if you want to make a compelling movie,
69% of Rotten Tomatoes.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. I guess that's honestly my biggest thing is like 69%. If you're gonna get a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, there has to be some
Social
emotional
commentary, emotional development.
not even social commentary, like just like emotional reaction. So storytelling is, there's 3 ways to tell a good story, allegedly.
1, you get some snakes.
No. 2, you get a plane. No. No.
And then 3, you put them together.
No. It's a fair point, but it's not what I'm getting
Hey,
to.
look, it's a recipe for a great movie.
Maybe. It's you tell a story based on emotion, a story based on like historical events, like you retell an historical event in
You tell a story.
microcosm, like
Yeah.
like a small, like a micro
Okay.
story of a macro story in history, or a social commentary about what's going on currently in the like general sociological political zeitgeist.
Okay.
This movie was definitely, if it was going to go for anything, it would definitely be going for emotion. This has never happened before, so it can't do the history. And I don't know. And I don't
Okay.
know a lot about. I don't think there's any social commentary.
You say it's never happened before?
Oh my god, don't.
No,
What?
I got a snake on a plane story.
Okay, but all right.
True story. I
Alright.
had to work this one in here.
Okay.
So my boss, the company that I work for, I won't mention the company because it's irrelevant to this, but his dad lives in a different state than where he lives as a kid when he was in high school,
Right.
and he goes to visit his dad. And
Oh, I know this fucking story.
Yeah.
So that's why we first started talking about doing this.
Yeah, that's why I
movie.
started
All
talking about the movie, right?
Continue.
So he
though.
goes to visit his dad, and he does, what any other kid does, I guess, when they visit their dad, which is go out and like fuck around and do stuff. Probably like hold the flashlight while their dad's working on something and not learn anything.
Yeah, that's how I got my first car.
Yeah,
Thank you,
see?
Dad.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then you start fucking around the yard, and he did what any growing boy would do when they find a couple of snakes. He picks them up and keeps them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because it's like garden snakes.
Yeah, who knows what they were? I mean, he captured more than one snake, and I shit you not, this is pre-2001. So he literally goes and
So
does.
it's not after pre or post 2006 when the movie
correct.
came out.
It is pre-2001 because
All
there's no way that TSA should allow this, but they're a scam anyway.
That's a very fucking good point.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't think about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So he does what any self-respecting child would do, which is he takes those snakes, he puts them in his carry-on, and takes them on the plane.
Right.
So he literally has say the name of the movie.
Snakes on a plane.
Yes, he does. Right.
He literally has snakes.
He
on
literally
a goddamn
has snakes
plane.
on a plane.
Okay, so
So he takes the snakes
oh no.
to his high school. Naturally, because you want to show off
Right.
you want to show off
I
the
forgot
animals
about-
that you found, not your snake, to your friends. I mean, that
forgot
happens in
about
high
this
school.
part.
Yeah, he takes them to school, and he opens the container that they're in and just leaves them open and lets them loose in the school. He says that even after he finished school, no one ever found out that it was him who let the snakes go. But they just got released at the random high school.
So first of all, we're not going to say his name,
Right, but I'm just saying, snakes on a plane has happened.
but they didn't get out and like cause a disaster.
You don't know that.
Okay, so what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to contact this friend and make him listen to this episode and give you details so I can know about it. Off air, not recorded.
Oh, I'll call him. We
Yeah.
can call him.
Let's say, you want to call him right now?
No, it's
Call him
dude,
right now
it's-
live.
We're recording this at midnight. He is in Colorado, so it's 10 p.m. But
Yeah.
he goes to bed early.
Was he a fucking narc?
No, he just goes to bed early and gets up early and runs.
Ugh. Oh, okay. So
He's a boss of a company, man. He's got a schedule.
Oh, okay. So he's like super like productive
Yeah.
and we're recording this podcast at midnight on the East Coast. All right, that's fine.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so don't say it hasn't happened before.
Okay,
But
so
I
I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna say two things. One, great story,
Thank you.
but like it's not equivalent to what
No,
we're
it's
talking
not.
about.
I just want to work that story into the podcast.
I
but
mean, it's
I
fair.
get where you're going. There's no emotional
They
development.
try to make emotional
There's
connection.
there's no historical storytelling, and there is no like greater humanity.
Yeah, there's no social
Issue him.
commentary.
But that's not the point. Like the ham and cheese sandwich is not a nutritional
Wait,
device. It's just
wait.
delicious.
Wait, is this movie about terrorism? Post 9/11, plane, foreign country.
I think you're trying to give the ham and cheese sandwich too much credit on this one.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so it doesn't have
Yeah,
anything.
so maybe that proves
That's the
your point.
only thing you could squeeze in there on
Fine.
that angle.
Fine.
That's all
We're
I'm
gonna
saying.
continue with this.
Yeah,
I think
we are.
I think we've beat that horse to death.
All right. Anyway, let's get to so the snakes. Let's I do want to talk about this just because I'm excited to talk about Tim
Go.
Riggins and his brief moment in this movie. Okay, so the snakes blow out, right? I talked
Yep,
about the
yep.
bomb. We talked about the bomb, like whatever. Snakes blow out, and the first people to die are Tim Riggins and some unknown named
Girl with
actress.
boobs. That's
Girl
all
with
we need to
boobs.
know,
That's
like-
blonde girl with boobs. It's 2006, baby.
We love him. Yeah.
Hot girl with fucking boobs. That's it. They go to join the Mile High Club and smoke a J in the bathroom,
You always go like, man, disrupting or pulling the smoke detector out is a federal offense. Who would do that? Apparently these two.
Apparently these two, and so they spark it up, and they start making out, and fucking cut to shot of the snake, a snake being like, "Hey, what's that light over there?" Because he'd pulled out the
Smoke detector.
smoke detector, like you said, and long story short, they both die, but it's just honestly the first major kill of this movie is it sets the tone for a B like action movie because because we get like 2 minutes of like a pretty decent make out scene. It's pretty
Okay.
great. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's pretty good. Check it out, boys, girls, whatever.
Hey, lords
Everyone-
and ladies, whatever you're into.
Everyone's into it because you got, no matter what you're into, you got a girl with boobs and you got Tim Riggins. So everyone's gonna be happy.
Everyone
about it.
wins.
Everyone wins, like regardless of
Yeah.
anything. But then the thing that takes us over the top, Snake comes out. They're getting attacked.
And does what
And then
every
all of it-
grown
and then-
man wants to do in this scene.
and then the girl somehow conveniently, both of her boobs are right in the camera shot. Get to see them for like half a second, and then one of these fucking snakes goes right to her fucking nip
Chomp.
and chomps on it, and that's her fatal blow in this moment. And it's just like, I will say that the build up to this movie, like the build up to this moment, this first kill is like, it could go either way. Like we could get into some like quality action thriller stuff, and then even with the name, even with the ham and cheese like expectation, it's like, oh, like I could be surprised by this because like it's built up, like it's the pacing and everything is like, yeah, like I want to learn more about the characters throughout the film, but we introduce them because it's like what 25-30 minutes in when this happens,
Roughly.
give or take. It's like 20 minutes of like setting everything up, and like, yeah, that's all pacing fine and stuff. When I say I'm mad about character, like getting to know the characters once things start to happen, is because once it starts, it never stops, and we don't get to learn anything about the characters, in my opinion. But the first kill, like, this fucking snake biting on a fucking tit, and it's like, okay, so we're definitely B now, and it's
I
like,
see.
and it's like,
Drop
it's
down
like,
character.
I guess it's like the rug was pulled out from under me. I feel like
Okay.
it's like I could, and like Samuel L. Jackson, they're like starring Samuel L. Jackson again. He's not the main character, like could arguably be not the main character, and you're like damn, Samuel L. Jackson in this movie called Snakes on a Plane. Like I feel like it's gonna be pretty intense.
They could have gone harder from a casting perspective.
Yes.
And okay, I see where you're going with this. Where I was going to go with is this starts to open up another point that I find very solid about the movie. Keep in mind it's 2006, so this isn't a diversity grab yet. Those haven't been invented yet,
No.
or at least not to the level that they are in their current date and time. It is a very black positive movie.
It actually is, yeah.
Yeah, like think about it. White person dies first, and it's not just Titty Girl who dies first. It's also the white guy gets killed in the first scene.
Yeah, the two. But in horror movie like lore, like
Mm-hmm.
strategy.
Oh, Hot Girl does.
It's the people who have sex first.
Yeah. Sex in a horror film, good way to die.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's.
If you have sex in a horror film, you're gonna die.
That's fair. Don't hide in the place with a room full of chainsaws either. But no,
Yeah.
it's actually the district attorney who dies first in the movie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So he
you're right.
dies first, and then I'll also throw this out. They do a good job of mixing up the racial game here because it's not the Russians who are the bad guys.
Nope.
Or the Middle Eastern folk who are the bad guys.
No, and in 2006, that
Yeah,
would be
they
an
were
easy
really,
buy. That would be an easy buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right. So kudos to that one. And then I mean Samuel L. Jackson, he is our anti-hero of the movie, of course, making a case for the brothers out there. Like, yeah, it's awesome to see the anti-hero be a person of color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like you're expecting the
The
white
most
dude who's
rememberable character.
yeah,
Yeah.
is Samuel L. Jackson. And then I was gonna say the guy who's the main character is like who is the white dude from the beginning, like doesn't do anything cool.
Nope.
And then they get a bonus with well, actually they get 2 bonuses on the race
3.
card thing. Yeah. Well, 2 bonuses, one given.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, sorry, I'm gonna text my wife. Poor form on me for not having my phone on silent. But the 3Gs, right?
Yeah, 3G.
He's got the best character art, right? He goes from being an asshole to like a good person by the end of it.
One could say he's the only one who does.
Yeah, like he makes the most progress as a character over the course of the movie. So
which is great.
there is brother
So
number 2.
is he our main character?
No. I'm saying he's brother number 2.
But he's the only one who changes.
Right. He makes the most change, and it's a positive change.
Which
right?
is what a main character is supposed to do, is change.
Oh, that's fair.
That's
Yeah. Okay.
we're just trying
but,
yeah.
right. Number 3, Keenan.
Fucking Kenan Thompson. My
lands
man.
the airplane.
Dude, I fucking love him in this movie, though. I will say.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they didn't cop out and make a white person save everyone. Like,
No, they didn't.
good job, Hollywood.
It's Samuel L. Jackson and Kenan Thompson who land the plane.
Yeah, like I'm just saying it's an early. I think it's an authentic use of character as opposed to.
It's what should have always happened.
Yeah,
It's people.
It's not like the Disney Star Wars movies being like, oh, let's make an awesome female hero. Again, look, we already have done this with Princess Leia. You don't have to force a square peg through the round hole.
Right.
Rey, shitty character. What's the girl in Rogue One?
Shitty writing. Character's good, but they fucked it up.
Yeah, sure.
We can't talk about it.
It's just a whole other podcast.
Yeah,
Bad movie
this is
debate
a whole-
for Star Wars.
This is a 5-hour episode that I do by myself, like talking about. The merits.
But you get where I'm going with that. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
I get your point.
Because I think it's, like I said, the key thing to take home is it is an authentic use.
Yes, because it's characters who would be in that situation who just happen to be POC. Like that's what it is. It's like you write a character. Oh, you get this character. You're this character. You know what I mean? Like it's there's an argument to be said that like it's like, oh, it's a rapper and his 2 bodyguards. And like that's like, I don't know.
I mean, they didn't say that G3 is a rapper, I don't think, but I mean, like,
they do. He's the opening scene. He's like when we first are introduced, they're like, oh my god, like 3G, like the rapper, like the.
Okay,
he fucking says "Stay Black" to the white kid with the backwards hat who comes up and says like, can you sign my CD of yours? And he says it, and he's like, "Stay Black," and the kid goes, "Hell yeah!" It's a little white kid with a backwards hat on. Like it's like they like, so they I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's I will say questionably problematic that part of like who these characters are questionably problematic, but the fact that they aren't just stereotypical and they actually have character development and like are a major plot point that like for a positive is very good. Yes.
Yeah. So there's definitely some.
So I will give Snakes on a Plane points for that.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Yes,
early
absolutely.
on that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning.
And we also get to see British people being dicks. Because
is that guy British?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because remember
he says he's not American. I know that. This is okay. So this is describe the character for the podcast people. Like it's a guy who gets bumped out of first class.
Yeah.
He's clearly an asshole. Does some business.
Oh yeah, hair plugs.
Yeah, hair plugs.
The girl with the dog makes the hair plugs joke and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I have to not be in first class. And he's like, and you have this disgusting dog. What else could happen? And he looks over and the baby's there. And he's like, And then like the girl with the dog says some like quick little quip.
Don't worry, Mary Kate. His hair plugs can't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the
Burn.
mom with the baby laughs and stuff. And he's like, fucking Americans, fucking babies, fucking dogs. Like, duh. And he's got a British accent. And a third thing I love about this movie. That guy, fucking piece of shit, fucking asshole, he throws the fucking dog at the boa constrictor.
Oh, that's right.
And then immediately gets killed by the boa constrictor. And like honestly, one of the more like brutal deaths is the guy who immediately sacrificed somebody else's dog to save himself.
Yeah.
That was pretty great. That
Hell
made me
yeah.
very happy watching him get constricted and then trying to be swallowed by the boa constrictor. That was pretty great. So
It's also hilarious when the boa gets sucked out by the vacuum at the end.
I know,
of
and
the
his
movie.
body is like flailing
Like that is a
behind
big
it.
ass snake.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But like,
Also,
yeah.
another thing I should have mentioned. This movie makes so much more sense if it was coming from Florida to California.
Yeah, right. It'd be a lot easier.
There's so
to get
many more.
those,
Like,
it'd be a lot easier to get
where
those
are all
snakes.
these crazy snakes from? Florida. Yeah, that checks out. That was a very
Well, I
accurate
will say
movie.
they got the black market snake handler
Who's in California,
conveniently.
but the snakes came from Hawaii.
He shipped them.
He shipped the snakes to Hawaii and they got shipped back. That
And then didn't put a bomb and pheromones in that one. You said your friend was able to fucking take fucking
snakes on a plane. Yeah.
so,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's fine.
So there's that. All the characters in this movie go hard. Like they might be D-list actors or G-list actors, but every single one of them knows their character and plays it up.
Yeah.
Like Samuel Jackson did not take a movie off. Like we all know there's like movies where someone goes to take a paycheck. Samuel Jackson.
Nicolas Cage.
Is that American Treasure or
no, it's a Season of the Witch.
okay.
Dude, he might as well have pulled out his cell phone on set and answered it in that movie.
Yeah, okay, but like Samuel Jackson, he's like, nah, dude, I'm gonna put the same level of preparation.
Again, he never misses.
This.
If he's doing a movie, he's fucking doing it.
He is on, dude.
He's
I was
the
gonna
best.
say when we did our top 5 categories, we could have done top 5 Samuel Jackson movies.
Oh my god,
That would be a great category.
that would be good. I'll bring you back on for like a quick little episode. We'll talk about Samuel
top
Jackson.
5
more.
Samuel Jackson.
Honestly,
movies.
we should totally do that. That would be great.
That'd be awesome because this is the only movie that I think we can have him in there in question.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're all freaking awesome.
Everything else is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, God.
But like the stewardesses, like they're all into it. What's the? I think my favorite was the older stewardess when Tim Riggins is getting some in the
Oh
bathroom.
my God. Yes.
She's just like,
when she
I
thinks
remember
they're-
those days.
Yeah, when she thinks they're fucking, but they're actually getting killed.
yeah,
and
like
shit. Yeah.
sounds like
Oh my
they're
God.
getting
She's
plowed
like,
in there and they're
or she-
screaming.
No, she says like, yeah, she's like, oh, I remember those days, and then it's just like they're screaming and like banging against the thing, and they're like,
Ooh,
oh, they're
he's
just fucking.
good.
He's like, oh, he's good, and then like it stops because they're dead, and
Okay,
she's like,
apparently not that good.
maybe not that good, and it's just like,
LOL.
great bit, great
good
joke,
for you.
that's fine. There is some good humor.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Like there's definitely
Um,
moments that made me laugh, but also like part of it is like I don't know. So there was a weird one of the things that I thought was I don't know. It's like I felt like the whole movie they were trying to toe the line between like A action movie and B horror or B horrors. I usually say B horror, but B action movie.
Okay.
We've already talked about a little bit like the name and like the whole plot and like everything is like very B, but like the build up is A. Like, the point is the deaths in this movie. Like let's take a step back and like so like in horror movies, like you talk about like what makes a good horror movie. Depending on what horror movie you're watching, like the death scenes. If somebody has like if there's a really cool death scene for like a slasher, it's gonna get a lot of attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like X. X is a recent horror movie that is a typical. It's came out the past few years, but it takes place in the 70s, give or take, and it's a people go out to a cabin type thing, remote,
Classic.
and there's a killer, and but like the deaths in it are different, shot different, and they're cool. It's like that's a cool death scene. You know what I
Okay.
mean? This movie has a lot of death scenes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And my issue with the death scenes is they were strictly 50-50. They were either really fucking funny, like a B action movie should be, or like a
Okay.
B horror, if we're talking about it in that terms, should be, or they're like really fucking out of nowhere, like, oh my god, like fuck.
Horrible.
Yeah, like when they're all running up to first class and the railing breaks because there's too many people, they get turbulence and it breaks
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and that dude fucking falls on that random pin on the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
and just gets in his neck, and he sits up and he's like, oh, he's
Or the
bleeding out of
stiletto
it.
to the head.
Yeah, or the stiletto to the head. Like, it's just like there's some like really brutal death scenes, like deaths in this movie. But then you have the woman who's having the horny dream. Like that's funny. You have the people actually having sex. Like, that's kind of funny death scene. And like
The guy who gets his dick bit.
the guy who gets his dick bit. Like, it's like you have like I can't agree with the dichotomy of those, or the cognitive dissonance of those two things happening in this movie. I'm not okay with both of those things happening.
You got your ham and your cheese.
No,
Sorry, I just want to say ham and cheese
no,
again.
I know you did. Are you hungry? Is that what this
you want
is?
a ham and cheese sandwich?
I mean, I don't have one on me.
We'll get through the podcast. It's
we'll-
late.
Maybe we'll have some. Maybe we'll have some later. But yeah, that was one of my big things. Was like the most after the build up. Once the deaths start happening, the only thing that makes me think like, oh damn, maybe this is more serious than I thought, is the death scenes. But then it's like they go back and forth. They're like really intense one to really funny one, really intense one, really funny one, and I'm like, what am I watching? Which
they
is
mix
it?
it up. They
Like,
mix it up. They keep
they change the tone.
They want to keep it. Oh, okay. I mean,
They change the tone.
I like it. Keeps it a little bit lighthearted. Gets a little serious.
Not like the whiplash back and forth of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it felt too whiplashy. It was like, oh, it's really
You
serious
get kind
now.
of seasick from it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
See,
oh,
I
it's
thought
really
it was
serious.
like a
no,
palate
it's not.
cleanser. Like, we gotta get some violence. We gotta get some.
I mean, yeah.
We gotta get some violence. We gotta get some stuff that's just ha ha.
I mean, yeah, but like, if you want some ha-ha, you don't need to do it through deaths. Like kills.
we get plenty of sass from the characters, like the.
Exactly, save it for that.
Oh, I mean, we get plenty of that too. I mean, like the stewardesses and steward, I guess.
Steward,
right? Yeah, whatever the proper term is, right? They all act in that movie just like how like anyone else who hates their job does.
Yeah, which is great.
Like, don't be a dick to flight attendants. They're people.
Yeah.
They've got a job.
Yeah.
And like the characters in this film let you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm cool with that. And like that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna give me lightheartedness, do it in those moments, like the human interactions.
Yeah.
Don't give me a lighthearted, like funny death scene, and then or like kill, and then the next one is like, oh man, that's really fucked
You want
up.
more consistency.
Let's put it this way: this movie should have been PG-13. The deaths should have stayed light. Because like the scene where it would have never been PG-13 because Samuel L. Jackson can't get through a movie without saying fuck. So
And, I think he only says motherfucker once.
no.
Oh no, he says it twice.
He says it at least twice.
No, but I mean, I think he only says it twice in the movie. It's not like.
But he says motherfucker a lot. He says land this motherfucking bitch or something to that effect. So he says fuck a lot. You know.
Sure.
So they have to make it R just based on that. But then I think they were like, well, if Samuel L. Jackson in this movie is going to be in this movie, we have to make it R because he's going to say fuck a lot, whether it's in the script or not, because that's Samuel L. Jackson. And like, that's fine. But I think they were like, well, we have an R rating, let's make some more brutal kills. But it didn't, I don't think it lines up with the original intention of it being like, hey, we're going to make like a not completely schlocky B movie, but we're going to lean into it at certain moments, and in other moments it's going to not be. I don't know. Like, it's going to be like really serious. It'd be like, oh, gross. Like, I don't know. It was like a B movie with like a gross out. I don't know.
Yeah. I again, like, I took it like got a little funny, we got a little action, or we got a little little intensity.
Yeah.
You know, it's sweet and spicy. Like,
I guess what I'm saying is, like, I don't want the sweet and spicy to be in the kills.
you would
Let
you
the
prefer
kills either be spicy, juxtaposed with the sweet of the human interaction,
Okay.
or have all of it be sweet and lean into the B that I signed up for when I saw Samuel L. Jackson was in a movie called Snakes on a Plane.
Fair. I was
what I
also
mean?
gonna say, like, how you know, like with the snakes though, it's like you can only make them so violent. I mean, like, oh, there's a snake latched on. By the way, the snake animation, like, they make these look like little devils. Like, they all look like, fuck, dude, those are mean snakes.
Yeah,
Like,
no, the
like whatever that
the
pheromone
CGI looks pretty good.
is, you do
with
not
the
want to be
snakes.
around snakes if
'Cause
that
obviously
pheromone is there.
Obviously, 95% of the snakes is in the movie is CGI. There's a couple moments where
There are
I
real
remember-
snakes.
I remember there was one moment specifically where like a snake is sitting on or is on an empty row of chairs and it like bites the chair. It's like a second clip. And it bites it and it's like that's a real fucking snake. So they have moments where there's like real fucking snakes like doing shit. And like that's cool, but and like I think it's fine because it works because like obviously the snakes that are like doing the attacking of the people are like fake, but I think it works.
Yeah.
It's 2006. It's better than the fucking 90s CG.
There wasn't actually, that would be interesting to go back through and see if there was a snake handler #1 for the movie. Like, someone who's like legitimately like, I gotta bring all my snakes in my collection for the show.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that ever says, no snakes were harmed in the creation of this movie.
I'm sure somewhere deep in the credits there's a no
Peter
animals.
just shits on them somewhere.
Well,
No,
I mean,
look, it's worth looking at.
it is.
Okay. Last thing that I want to mention is fucking awesome about this movie. And this is another thing that keeps us bringing back this movie. Cobra Starship writes a fucking awesome theme for this movie. And, like, honestly, the whole soundtrack is pretty good for what it is. Like, it's not John Williams.
So the fucking mid-aughts, like, this is an action movie score in the beginning is
Ripe.
so fucking perfect.
Yes.
Like, the intro music is perfect. There was when Samuel L. Jackson gets the witness for the prosecution
Yes.
and, like, they're running and he's like, black car, like, get in the black car and stuff like that. All that music and they're driving away is, I don't care who you are,
Mm-hmm.
literally, like we were talking about as it was happening, like, this is a 2004 to 2008 movie because of that fucking music. And
Yes.
I love it. It's so nostalgic.
Dude, it's like-
it just feels good. It feels
it's-
good to hear that kind of like action music,
It's
It's
like-
good stuff.
For me, it's like you go to like a shitty Chinese restaurant. Like, I always order the General Tso's chicken, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have General Tso's chicken, and then other times, like, dude, that is General Tso's chicken. This is 2006
Oh yeah.
action movie soundtrack.
Oh yeah. And it's great. I don't have anything wrong with the music. Let's go.
But
Tell the story about the
Cobra Starship.
Cobra Starship. Yeah. Because
Okay.
like that was I didn't know that.
I
watched
had to
the
look
credit-
this up.
I had watched the credits and like heard the song, but I did not realize that's who it was.
Okay, yeah. So,
and like the story behind it.
okay.
I definitely did not know.
So, obviously, like the closing theme or closing music for this movie slaps. Like,
Yeah.
it just
Pretty
slaps.
great.
Check it out if we can put it in the video or if we can put it on the podcast.
You
You
probably said like
punch it
put
in.
like a fucking
a snip until you get like
Yeah.
copyright or whatever. But it's by this
we
band.
can at least put like a YouTube link to the
Sure.
video.
Yeah. Because like obviously the name of the band is Cobra Starship. They're like
Right.
like is this the chicken or the egg? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
you
So
know.
that's the kind of the role. The
Honestly, quick sidebar about like
Yeah.
science and stuff, and since you love animals and stuff, I think I had heard something about recently they decided that the egg did in fact come before the chicken.
Oh no, that's a known thing. The egg had to have come first because what happened was is an animal that was genetically not a chicken laid the egg, and then the
Dinosaurs.
Right. Well, I mean, some sort
They
of
laid eggs.
pre-chicken bird dinosaur thing. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is whatever. It's just this is simple biology. The egg came first.
No, I know, but I feel like I just recently heard or saw something that was like, it's 100% official.
Okay.
Stop talking about it. Like, you know,
Okay.
one of
Okay.
those things.
This is like the frog earlier. Anyway,
Yeah.
where I'm going with this is Cobra Starship released 4 albums, and their first album has the theme to this movie. So
And
this
it genuinely slaps.
yeah, and it goes fucking hard. Like their whole theme as a band is like synth pop and
Yeah.
hip hop mashup,
Which, like,
which was the rage in 2006.
Yeah,
like,
which, like, yeah.
like I kind of got the vibe that like this is the kind of band that you like rage hard when you're like you know how Nashville has a bunch of country music venues.
Yes.
And it's just like not all of them are going to be nationwide country music groups, but like locally, like hell yeah, I'm going to go listen to whatever this group is.
yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about them.
Oh, yeah,
and
so
they're
if,
from
for
New York.
people who are like, Cobra Starship, what was that song?
Yes,
what
what
was
was
that
it?
song? It's fucking Good Girls Go Bad. I make those good girls go bad. That was
Yes.
their big one-hit wonder.
And he also does a parody of Hollaback Girl called
way.
Hollaback Boy. And I mean, it's kind of like I'm kind of like, man, this is like direct copy. What do we say? Good composers borrow, great composers
Right.
steal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the soundtrack and this closing theme slaps. But you're probably wondering, how the hell did they get the gig for the movie?
Right?
Well, it turns out the bass player from the band Cobra Starship is friends with the bass player from Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
What's his
Fall Out
name?
Boy.
What's his first name? I know his last name's Wentz.
Can't remember.
I
I just know he's in that clip
Well, that's
at
what
the
we're
end
going
of the
with.
movie.
So this
hilarious.
music video that they shoot to make the end credits is fucking awesome. They're going through the
fucking
airport. They're all like, oh, we're ready for it. Let's come on, bring it, something like that. Like
Yeah.
the name of the soundtrack or the song is "Bring It," I think.
Yeah.
Right. It's all them going through the airport.
Yeah.
And at some point in the scene, you see the bass player.
You see the
from Fall
fucking,
Out
he's
Boy.
like, they're like walking to their terminal, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's like on a payphone.
He's
Because
just in there, but
2006
you're like,
payphones were still a thing.
Right.
And he like turns to the main dude and they like kind of like nod at each other and stuff. And it's like, yeah, fuck yeah.
So
fuck yeah.
here's
Fall
my
Out Boy,
theory.
man.
My theory is because Fall Out Boy was big in 2006.
Oh, dude,
Right?
okay, so you're gonna be at my wedding to Austin.
Hell yeah.
So our plan for the reception is we're gonna play like all the like basic, like Earth, Wind and Fire, like all the
Uh-huh.
basic stuff
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then my plan is the second half is just a straight up fucking emo party. So like I already have like a lot of Fall Out Boy that's gonna be
Yes.
played at the wedding. So yeah,
Perfect.
I know Fall
Okay.
Out Boy.
So here's my theory,
What's
right?
that?
Someone approached Fall Out Boy and was like,
Yeah, this is so
"Hey,
funny.
we're doing this movie called Snakes on a Plane, and we're wondering if no, no, just hear me out. No,
No, we're
Like,
artists.
No. No. But my buddy's got a band called Cobra Starship, and it would be fucking sick if you let them do this.
Yeah,
gig.
they need to start.
Yeah.
They need to start. I
So
know
I think-
them. They're making some cool stuff.
I think that's how that went down. If anyone knows, let us know. But
Yeah, if anybody has any more details.
right, every musician passes on a gig that they don't want, and that's how I'm guessing how they got this.
Yeah.
But the best part about this whole music video,
And then
they
fucking
board the plane.
they board the plane. They literally at the very end, the last shot is Flight 121. No way, dude.
What?
Honestly, I feel like we need to like
Go back and watch and see if
rewatch
they're
it
in the
and
movie.
see if like you see them like if they're one of like the quick kills, like any of the people.
Yeah,
from
like,
Cobra Starship.
Just running around, like that'd be fucking cool.
That'd be fucking sweet.
There's definitely a YouTube video about there, like Easter eggs and snakes on a plane. But
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's people doing a lot more work than we are right now to talk about this movie.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like let's see. We're getting
We're getting the
there.
2-hour mark. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're getting
Do
there.
we want to recap, or what else? You got anything that we didn't touch on?
I don't know. I'm looking over my notes real quick. I always like to look over my notes real quick.
Yeah.
And I think we said 90% of it. The only other notes that we might not have touched on is I was really annoyed plot wise that I got 3 notes. So in the cockpit, dude opens the main pilot opens it up, right? Goes down there, he dies.
Yep.
Great. Cut to, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, and don't know the actor's name, can't remember him, but I'm gonna say Todd Packard from The Office. That guy
Yep.
is the co-pilot, and he gets attacked by a snake, and he falls into the same hole that the first
The
pilot.
first pilot falls into, dies.
No, he went down there to like turn stuff back on, gets killed down there. Long story short, no one thought to close that so no one would fall through it because they were experiencing some crazy turbulence.
Maybe open back up after some crazy turbulence. I don't know.
It's just one of those plot points that I was like, no one thought, hey, maybe we should close this until the.
I was more concerned with who's flying the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Not
pilot
him.
comes out multiple times.
Not him, because he fucking falls through the fucking open hole that they created at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
And clearly autopilot wasn't on because we all know if you've seen Airplane, that autopilot, when you hit that button, a blow-up doll folds up and pilots the airplane.
Honestly, we were making so many airplane jokes during this movie, and like they missed so many opportunities. Like
You can't steal them all, but
like everybody has stolen so many from that.
it's such Airplane is a movie that warrants its like that is deserving of being
I will say,
parodied.
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say I've had a fair amount of drinks tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say if you don't know the movie Airplane, you should be listening to this podcast.
You need to turn this podcast off
you
right
need to
now and go
fucking-
listen to, or go watch Airplane.
You need to go watch Airplane and then re-listen to everything, every episode, and just get
buy more Liquid IV.
and buy one Liquid IV. Yeah, you can buy the Liquid IV whether you do or do not know Airplane. So like that would be great. But watch Airplane. It's ridiculous. Like literally, I don't think we made it more than 10 minutes without making a reference to Airplane while we were watching this movie. Like you gotta see Airplane. It's amazing. So they should have done the cockpit, closed that little hatch that they opened. That was weird. And then I have a really bad weapon, homemade flamethrower. That was a really dumb weapon to have out of nowhere, wasn't it?
No. I think it was a fucking great.
No. It was cool visually, but you literally leaned over to me in the movie.
like
and you
how
were
did TSA let it go?
Hey, how the fuck do they have an aerosol can that big on this airplane right now? And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. And you were like, oh shit, wait.
Yeah, good question. But yeah, I don't know. TSA, are you really doing anything?
Is it a fraud?
Thank you for your service, TSA. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I got nothing on that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Dude, the lady at the Chattanooga airport, whenever I get there, like the line is always like 3 people long.
Yeah.
And there was this one person who every time I see her go, I'm just like, oh god. She will spend, multiple minutes looking at your suitcase.
Yeah.
I'm just like, lady, you could not do your job in any other airport in this country.
No.
No one would ever get through.
No. Yeah, no. Any actual, like, no offense to Chattanooga, but like any, like, actually busy.
The Chattanooga airport's adorable, dude. There's like 3 airlines. They each have 1 flight a day, and it's so cute.
I remember when I was working at the news station, one of my first things I had to go cover was that we were doing, like, longer distance flights in the U.S. and stuff. Like, I had to film the first flight that came from the West Coast or something like that, and like we're like, oh my god, like this came all the way straight from the West Coast to Chattanooga, and it's like, oh shit, we live in a small fucking town apparently.
It's a tiny airport, man.
It's a tiny airport. It's cute, but it's fucking small. I did get to go a little bit behind the scenes though. That was kind of fun.
That's kind of cool.
Got to be on the tarmac. I got to go into like one of the main like when I like got there and was like, hey, this is who I am and why I'm here. They like took me up into like a behind the scenes like office to like meet with the liaison and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is a room that like people don't go into at an airport. Like, this is kind of, and I'm like, I'm like, let's see, what am I? I'm 28 now, so this was probably like 3-4 years ago. So I'm mid 20s, and I have a badge that says I work for this news station and a camera, and I'm just deep into this airport right now. Like,
Nice.
I am in this airport right now. So that was kind of cool, but yeah.
See any snakes?
Maybe on the drive there. Because it's kind of in a swampy area.
But you know what they do have at the Chattanooga airport?
What?
They have a live feed of the Tennessee Aquarium, and you can watch sharks in the airport.
So I could have seen a snake if it got to
Sharks on a plane.
It
was
Sharknado did that already.
Sharknado.
In the
No,
air.
you know that's how they got the whale sharks to the Atlanta Aquarium. They flew them.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's amazing.
Whale sharks on a plane.
My last note that I have that we haven't talked about is, and this is actually an important one. So besides the kid, how do they know who got bit by what?
Oh, yeah.
Because they prove in earlier when Samuel L. Jackson is talking on the phone to the dude, he's like, oh, I got one that's like brown and then it's like green and stuff. And they're like,
yeah.
you're gonna be way more specific and stuff. And it's like, so like these people who are on this plane aren't gonna be able to be like, oh, it is this species, this subspecies, this subspecies to get the right antivenom. Like the kid, he's like, oh, I drew a picture of what it was. And he's like, it's a cobra like Indiana Jones, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, give him this. And I'm like, but didn't you already establish that there's so many other subspecies it could be?
Yeah,
and
okay,
you already
okay.
established
So
that.
that's a good.
And you already established that the wrong antivenom could kill somebody faster than the actual
Correct.
venom?
So this is a good question, and this is
Come
where
on,
it gets like I'm gonna push my nerd glasses up. Actually,
You don't even wear glasses.
Don't
make fun of
I have
me.
laser eyes. Thank you,
This
government.
motherfucker's making fun of me with my fucking 4 eyes right now.
Four
'cause
eyes,
I've been
okay.
pushing my glasses up
No,
this
look,
entire time.
If you haven't figured out, I've got some interest in snakes. I'm a little bit of a reptile nerd, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. So a couple things.
How's that
Lizard Castle, Tankzilla?
The lizard room in your house going? Yeah.
I literally said, why would I have a dining room if I could put a zoo enclosure in there and I have an 8
If you ever want to go to a fancy dinner party at Chris's house, it's either going to have to be next to the lizard
No, wait.
or it's going to be in a different room that isn't technically the dining room, so we don't bother the lizard he's about to get.
Correct. I've got an 8-foot long vivarium in there. It's 6 feet tall and 4 feet deep. I mean, there's literally a picture of my wife climbing inside of it.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's massive. You
So,
need to come see it now. It's planted.
Point is, this motherfucker knows reptiles. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So you bring up a great point, right? Like,
Yeah.
how are they gonna solve all those issues?
They're not.
Number one, yeah, like in all actuality,
All
you're not.
dead, including the guy who got bit on the ass.
Number one reason. Snakes are incredibly hard to identify correctly off of secondhand information.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is a lot of species will try and mimic looking like other species. Like in Chattanooga, we have copperheads, and we also have a common water snake species.
Yes.
I'm blanking on the term in biology, but they try and look like one another.
Yeah.
And that's the non-venomous snake's defense strategy.
Yeah.
So there's that. Number two, there are 4 different types of venom in snakes. By the way, there's no such thing as a poisonous snake. They're all venomous. Venom has to be injected.
Honestly, that's one of my biggest things. And like for me, it's coming from like a grammatical thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, like there's this poisonous animal, and I'm like, no, it's
You're being
not.
pedantic. Where's the antivenom?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, fuck off. It's venomous.
Right.
But,
So there's 4 different types of venom. So of all the snake varieties that can have them, basically the first 3 types all work on the degradation of tissue, whether it's red blood cells, skin.
right, because the dude makes the snake expert makes a tissue.
It's
joke.
time or tissue.
Yeah, it's like something. I can't remember exactly what it's something like that.
Something
but
to that effect.
He
but,
makes
like,
some joke, and I was like, "What does that even mean?" Like, ha ha ha, this movie's dumb. And you were like, "Actually, you
Yeah.
pushed up your nerd glasses."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's like an actual basis."
So like they cause your organs to rupture and you'll bleed to death depending on like there's 3 different types and I don't need to bore you with them. And then the 4th one is a neurological one. It causes your neurology to shut down.
Yeah.
And you die. So the big concern is which species is which.
Right.
And can you identify them? Because like some snakes you can only tell they're them by like physically grabbing their head and looking at like, okay, there's 3 scales on between the eyeball and the nose, or there's 5 scales between the eyeball and the nose, and like they're not gonna have the bodies to do that.
Right.
So if you ever do get bit by a snake, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Do you have the snake?" To which you're like, "No, you fucking idiot.
Of course
How
not.
many years of medical school did you go to?"
You're like, "Of course not. I fucking ran the fuck away as quickly as I could, or I was carried away as quickly as I
Right.
could. We were getting the fuck away from it."
So if you ever get bit by a snake or there's a snake bite, like try and identify it if you can. And
Take a picture.
Yes, God, we got
Take
iPhones.
a picture.
Take a picture. Take
It's
a
fucking
video.
2023.
I get it. You might not be able to.
Yeah.
But so that does bring up a question. Now, if there is a way to have solved this, and I know there's some snake expert out there who will know the answer to this.
Hit us up.
Perhaps all cobras are in the same family,
Yes.
and there are no cobras in the United States. There is
Yes.
only one member of their genus in the United States, and is the coral snake, I believe. Fun fact: they're
Sure.
most closely related to cobras, and then king cobra is in a different genus than the rest of the cobras. Kind of interesting. Yeah, some real nerdy shit. But what I'm saying is, he may have been able to look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, all cobra venom will be treatable by X.
Sure.
But like the way he's sitting there and going like, you got bit by that, this dose. You got bit by that, like he's calling it out like, ooh, good luck. And people get bit by snakes and need multiple rounds of snake venom, or excuse me, antivenom, and that shit does not have a good shelf life. It is hard to get your hands on.
I remember when that whole like the hospitals and like how much antivenom they have and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, the snake expert was like, "How many do you think are prepared for this? Like, we don't know where they're coming from." Like, and you were like, yeah, and like you expounded on that while we were watching, being like, it's the shelf life of it is like it doesn't last. So they're only gonna
keep long.
They're only gonna have stuff local to that area.
Right. So my first thought was get on the phone with the San Diego Zoo. They're gonna have a lot.
Yeah, which they don't do.
Did get snake venom presumably from that guy's house that they raid.
Yes.
In there. So there's that.
I think that's the only explanation is they find the guy, the black market snake handler,
and get his snake venom.
He's the one that provided the snakes for the plane, and he has a list of them, so he has the anti-venom in his little refrigerator where he keeps it and stuff. So it's like,
and again,
okay, yeah, I get that.
If you're listening to this podcast, snake deaths or snake-related deaths are incredibly rare in the United States.
So my question was too, I feel like they kind of touched on it and stuff, because I mean I don't know anything about them because I fucking hate them, so I don't want to know anything about them. I
Snakes?
fucking hate snakes. I hate snakes. I'm not Indiana Jones or Antine level. Like despise of snakes, but I do not enjoy them. So I don't know a lot about them because like why the fuck would I want to learn more about them?
Fair.
But
conquer your fears.
Nah. No. I'm too old to conquer my fears. I don't give a fuck.
All right.
But would these, once the like killing starts after Tim Riggins R.I.P. Dies and stuff, I was like that scene happened and I was like, would they genuinely die? Like, would they die that fast?
Oh, so it depends on the species.
Well, because he had mentioned that. He's like, well, sometimes it's like, oh, a good night's rest and you'll be fine and
Legitimately.
stuff. But, like, sometimes it's like 2 minutes. And it's like, okay. And, like, there was literally at least a dozen different type of venomous snakes and stuff. And it was like, but people were dying, like, 2 bites in. They were immediately foaming at the mouth and dying. And stuff. But, like, it was from different kinds of snakes. And I'm like, okay, so, like, how does that work in, like, real-world biology? Like, does this line up? Does this track? What the fuck is going on? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So like I thought they did an excellent job of the makeup as far as like what would it look like if you were bit by a snake that causes
Right.
you that does have this. Like there's going to be localized swelling. There's going to be the
Yes,
purpling
with the
of skin.
little blonde kid,
Mhm.
like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of people getting bit by snakes, and like that's real.
Right,
Like, I know that, and he was
There's
fine.
lots of blood.
by the end of
There
the
was
day.
another person who started like foaming at the mouth and shit.
Mhm.
I think these are all within the realm of possibilities.
Mhm.
And it's just a very species by species. I know.
And they were being, and to their credit in the movie, they were being bit multiple times because they
Potentially.
were all charged up
Yeah,
by the pheromones and the lays.
and could have been
So-
bit by multiple species.
Yeah,
Same
I mean
person,
that's gonna,
multiple
and
bites.
that's true too. There's gonna be some issues when you get bit by multiple species, and then like I don't know, it just seems like it was like they're like immediately dying, and I was like,
There's going to be variants. Some of the characters live longer, right? Like
Yeah.
that older stewardess, like she lived a good bit through
she
the
lived a
movie.
good bit. The kid
Didn't die.
survives, and he was bit pretty early into the like when they first come out of the fucking oxygen mask. Like when they first come out, he gets bit like immediately during that process and stuff. So and he survives the entire movie allegedly. We actually don't see. He's like,
Right.
oh, this is what the snake looked like, and he's like, I'll give him this, and we're left to assume he is fine. So I don't know. That was one of those things. I don't know enough about it, but I was like,
That was one of the things I think it was like, out of all the things that are kind of realistic in this movie, that wasn't the most unrealistic.
right. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, definitely, but like definitely realistic, but it was like not completely batshit.
It wasn't far fetched. Like
Yeah.
it was rooted in
Plausible.
some form. Yeah, plausible. That's a good one.
Plausible.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. I have no need to know because I don't fuck with that shit.
Right. If you don't know
Like,
what you're doing with snakes, don't fucking touch them.
No.
Full stop.
No, I remember Austin and I were trying to go camping one time, which for anybody who knows us, we can't go camping. The two of us. The second time, we've literally only tried to go camping alone twice. First time was horrible. Second time we were like, it'll be fine. It'll be better. Horrible. We long story short, we were trying to go somewhere out here in Chattanooga. It's called Edwards Point. We were trying to go. We got Nick.
Lost.
Y'all know Nick. We fucking
Prometheus.
he's an expert in this field. He said, yeah, just like go up on Signal Mountain, like here's where you park, and just like fucking walk straight. And just like walk straight. And you like follow the path, you'll get there. Well, this path has a lot of sidebars.
Yeah.
I felt like a sidebar was straight. It was not. We ended up somewhere random as fuck. We ended up somewhere really random as fuck. Part of the reason was because we were going down one path and there was like an 8-foot fucking snake just laying across the path.
Nice.
Like it was a black snake. Again, don't know anything about fucking snakes, so don't know what's venomous and not.
Probably a black rat snake here.
But it was fucking huge, and it was
A
laid
chonk.
across the entire.
May have been a king snake.
We walked up to it, walked up, and I was like, "That's a really big fucking stick. Like that's like a walking stick." Didn't realize and stuff. We got close enough to it, we were I don't know, maybe 5 yards from it,
Okay.
and I was like, "That's a fucking snake." And we both were like, "Oh shit!" Neither of us know shit about what to do in this situation. Oh fuck, and it didn't move. And we were like, "Is it dead?" What? And we were just we were debating whether to go down this path or the other path. We'll just go back and go the other way. So I don't fuck with snakes.
Reptiles.
So I don't know shit about them.
Reptiles are all very efficient creatures, so they're not going to move if they don't want to or if they don't have to.
No, we did not get close enough to it for it to need to care
you're
about what we were
in-
doing.
If you're in that position where you do need to cross that path,
Yeah.
stop, like you said, 5 yards out, stamp your feet, that usually gets them to go like, oh, I gotta get out of the way.
Yeah, the only feet stamping was me and Austin very quickly walking back the other way, being like.
But if you were to do that,
no.
so if it slithers off to the right,
Mm.
hug the trail to the left.
Yeah.
And walk on whichever side its tail was.
Yeah.
It doesn't want anything to do with you. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, are you gonna eat me?
Yeah.
You're taller than it. If it's on the
Yeah.
ground, it's looking up like, scary thing.
Oh
above
yeah,
me.
no, it was again, it was just laid out
Mm-hmm.
completely across this thing. It had to have been like, I mean, like realistically, it had to have been like 4 to 6 feet, like genuinely.
Yeah.
But it was completely black. But we were like, nah.
Yeah. Sounds like.
And then we found a place to call it a night, not the actual place we were supposed to go to, and had a mediocre camping experience that night because we can't do it. We can't do it, dude. We have a great time going camping with people,
Just not by ourselves.
but by ourselves, it's bad. But
Fair.
it's fine. All right, I don't know. So, all right, yeah, like maybe they could figure out the right anti-venom and stuff, based on what you said and stuff. So, I guess
Unlikely.
I guess it's unlikely, and you agree. So I'm gonna say that 80% of those people still died.
Yeah, there were definitely more casualties after they got off the plane. Like,
Yes.
for sure.
But by the end of it, Samuel Jackson and the witness for the prosecution are going surfing because Samuel Jackson
Yeah.
doesn't know how to surf. So like they're like, yeah, man, we fucking did it, dude. We saved everybody.
And they got the chicks' numbers.
Oh yeah, and they got their honeys,
Nice.
which was hell yeah. Both of them
Yeah.
were very attractive. So I was like, yeah, that's great.
Good
Yeah,
for
but-
y'all.
Both of those stewardesses were hot in their own ways. Different ends of the spectrum, of
Yeah.
hot. So like great casting. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
but,
much appreciated.
appreciate it. But I don't know. So give me your. We're getting to that point for sure. Give me thesis. Give me your main
Overall thesis.
point.
Look, the movie says what it is.
Okay, ham and cheese.
Right, ham and
Ham
cheese.
and cheese.
Ham on a cheese.
God, I don't think I
Ham
have
and
any
cheese
ham.
on
I really want to make a ham and cheese sandwich, but I don't
No, I
think
gotta
I
get
have
home and
any
go to
in my
bed.
house.
But no, I mean like it says what it is. Like you can't go into this expecting it to be a giant emotional journey or anything like that. Like it is simply like, look, dude, we made a movie about snakes on a plane.
Yes.
It's entertaining for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, at worst, it's just get me through ironically an airplane ride. You watch movies on an airplane
Yeah.
because they're there. Probably never be on an
I would
airplane.
never fucking watch this movie on an airplane. I fucking hate flying.
That's
I
fair.
would never watch this movie.
But I mean, it's just like it's a fun, simple movie.
yeah,
Watch Samuel L. Jackson thrive.
the characters are cardboard.
Don't
But-
take it too serious. It's a fun movie,
All right.
right? Were you entertained for an hour and 40 minutes or whatever it is?
I'm gonna give my thesis and then I'll answer that question.
Okay, fine. Closing thought will be: were you entertained?
So, my-
Are you not entertained?
Okay,
Gladiator,
so
also a great
Gladiator.
action movie.
That's a good movie. fucking Russell Crowe, man, fucking god.
Yes.
Dude. Walking Phoenix, the fucking thumb.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yes.
That's Ridley Scott, right?
Huh?
Ridley Scott. The director.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Alien. He did Alien. Blade Runner.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure.
I know the same guy that did Gladiator is making a movie about Napoleon coming out this year. And
That's Ridley Scott.
yeah, okay, so it is
Yeah.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Dude, that Napoleon movie looks
Yeah,
fucking
because
sick.
with Joaquin.
yeah.
And
Joaquin
I will
Phoenix.
watch anything with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean it's like
I know my buddy Kyle, not Kyle Lane, who's been on the show, but my other buddy Kyle, he gave me his Blu-ray copy of Come On, Come On, with Joaquin, and he was like, hey man, I got this movie, it really fucked me up. You should watch it so we can talk about it because it really fucked me up. And I was like,
Oh,
all right, cool.
okay.
It's like an intense drama.
dude.
But Joaquin,
On that note of Joaquin Phoenix being fucking awesome,
always.
hear me out.
What?
Not to shit on the guy who played him,
Don't do it.
but how sick would it have been if Joaquin Phoenix was Anakin Skywalker in the prequels?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it would have been good. I love Hayden Christensen, and I think he people call him like Mannequin Anakin. Like we're calling like
There's issues with the prequels that I don't think are his fault.
they're not.
And
They're
I
not.
think with that movie, with those movies, he doesn't allow him to demonstrate how much of a disturbed child Anakin is.
I think he did. It's one of those ones where he did the best with the role as he could have, given everything about filmmaking.
We're getting off track.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting off track.
He's really good. He's really good. He's really good in Kenobi.
Oh, he is.
He comes back in Kenobi and he plays Darth Vader the entire time, and it's amazing.
He shuts down any doubt that you had.
He fucking snaps a kid's neck in the most brutal fucking way, and it's like it's one of those things like, oh my god.
Like,
oh my
what
god,
the fuck, Disney?
Yeah,
what the
dude,
fuck?
Nick and I have been talking about for years. We need a R-rated Darth Vader fucking
dude.
He's one of the scariest villains in all of fucking media. Fucking, but he doesn't do anything.
You know who?
Show me.
You know who'd be great to do that? Whoever did Venom.
Oh my god, yeah, that would
right?
be so good.
Venom did the Darth Vader one.
Oh yeah.
We also need a Mandalorian to be like. The Mandalorian, like, needs a John Wick movie.
Yes.
Like, that's what we're expecting.
Yes.
Enough Star Wars, though. Snakes on a plane.
Yeah, Snakes on
your
a plane.
your closing thesis.
My final thoughts are, as I've been kind of, like, hinting at this entire time, I love Samuel L. Jackson being, like, the main anti-hero, like, the main, like, the, like, crux of the movie. Like, it's why we all saw it. You know what I mean? When it came out, like, it's
he's
why
the
we
hook.
all. It's he's the hook, and like he does again. He does not fucking ever press the gas or press the brakes. He always gives 110%. It's like amazing, but to that point, I just feel like I just struggle with the back and forth of an A movie and a B movie. The deaths, the kill scenes and stuff, like we're back and forth. I don't think, again, I don't know enough about the science, and you've argued for and against the science of the movie, and I'm like, yeah, so what the fuck is even happening? There's some really great moments in it, but it just, I don't know. It just like it feels sometimes like I should be watching. It feels like from scene to scene sometimes I'm watching two different movies. I'm watching a very serious action thriller or I'm watching a schlocky B action thriller. And it's like pick one. Pick one and do it wrong, but it becomes a cult classic, or pick one, lean into what you're doing and make everybody love it to be like, yeah, I just wanted to go to the theaters and just like waste an hour and 45 minutes.
I think that's what it was.
That's what it was supposed to be, but they try to shoehorn in some like more intense stuff that I think does not hit because that's what it was supposed to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Bottom line, were you entertained enough for an hour and 30 or hour and 40 minutes to watch it again?
Are you asking me to drop character?
Yeah. What you got?
I love this movie.
See, this movie's fucking great.
No, this movie's great. Of course, it's fucking entertaining as shit. Like it's so fun to watch. Like Austin was like making some food. Like was like I asked her, I was like, oh, Chris is coming over. We're gonna watch it and then record. Like you gonna watch it with us? And she was like, the first thing she said was like, nah, I'm gonna like find something to do that night. And she's like, I'm gonna be like not even in the house. And then she ended up like not. And so she was like, I'm not watching it. And then, like, she watched less, like, I don't know, like 30, 45. And she was, like, super into it immediately. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't need to. Any moment you drop into
what's
this
going
movie,
on? There's snakes and they're on a plane.
Exactly.
Got it.
Again, oh, you're already halfway through your ham and cheese sandwich.
You want the other half?
I'll take a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have some bites of it. And
I got half a ham and cheese sandwich.
And I'll enjoy it just as much as if I had the entire sandwich or if I just had the second half, like the other half. Like it's and that's why it's just genuinely why I love this movie so much. And like I feel like when this movie came out, I watched this movie like so many times. This is one of those like
I think it's only the second time I've seen it.
Well, it's one of those like again like mid-aughts movies that like you just like somehow, like, everybody has those movies where it's like, it's not a good movie, but like somehow you just like
Yup.
ended up watching it so many times around the time that it came out. Like,
Yeah.
like I didn't see this movie in theaters, but like once it got onto like video on demand for free, like back with like in like the old school like Comcast, like the early days of Comcast, like video on demand, it was just like free because it's like, oh, you pay for Comcast, so you have Showtime, and this movie's on there, so you watch it for the first time, and you're like, oh, that was crazy, and then like, oh, my sister hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, or I was like, me and my sister, we would stay up late and be like, oh, let's watch a movie, and like, we watched this one, so like, like we would watch that, and then we'd like, honestly, it'd be fun. There was a thing on Comcast, it was called FearNet, and it was all these like really bad schlocky horror movies, and we would just watch those together like late at night when our parents were asleep and just be like, this is fucking terrible. But then also fun what's funny is me and my sister, I love my sister very much, shout out Sarah, we are very different, but we both are really into true crime,
Murder porn.
because we would watch these really shitty schlocky serial killer movies on FearNet, which is hilarious. But like, this was one of those where it was just like, oh, it was just like, I can watch it for free, and like I'll be entertained for like an hour 45 and stuff.
Yep.
And like watching it again tonight, like I like had to force myself to like, because I wanted to like talk to you while we were watching it. Like, it's one of those, it's like I just want to talk to you about, it's like while we're watching it, because we did like a watch and then immediately record. And like, I was like, I just want to talk to you about it. And I'm like, nah, I need to write this down. And I'm like, I don't want to write this down and talk about it later. I just want to fucking like joke around with you and like watch this.
It's definitely a low key, easy watch.
Because like everything I was saying, like when I would like be like, I can't hold it in and like save it, like I'm just gonna say it. You'd be like, oh yeah, for sure, that was fucking awful. That's so dumb. Or you would be like, that was pretty cool, and I'd be like, yeah, it's fucking great. Like it's not like we're analyzing this movie too much.
Here's the kicker. It is not like a take you home, have a date, or take you out and have a date movie.
Oh my god.
It's a Netflix and chill movie.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's literally, it's a Netflix and chill movie where it's like,
come back to my dorm, we'll air quotes watch a movie.
Yeah.
And like,
fucking snakes on a plane. You'll get into it, and then, Tim Riggin shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
They have that scene, and then before all the killing starts, you don't even know what's fucking going on.
Exactly.
You're not even paying attention.
And then, after you've had the best 30 seconds of your life, like, what's happening here? Snakes. And they're on a plane.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
And Samuel L. Jackson is still in charge and being a badass.
Is he going to say it yet? Is he going to say it?
Yeah, did he say it? Yeah.
Is that how we should close this podcast? We'll say it together. Are you ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Say what you got to say to close out.
I gotta do my bullshit.
All right, hit the sound off.
Follow me on Spotify, Bad Movie Debate. Follow me on Instagram at Bad Movie Debate. Buy some Liquid IV. It's really good. I get money. Oh my god, that's fun. So yeah, do all that shit. Anyway, we're gonna say what I think we're gonna say.
Oh
right?
yeah.
All right.
And then do you have like a normal tag that you sign out with, or?
Nah, it's usually just some like, oh, blah 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 blah. I do that like standard like and subscribe bullshit.
Yeah,
and then just whatever.
Well,
so
if that's the case, I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That.
Snakes on a plane.